Hey guys, and welcome back. Okay, in this video we're gonna create this beautiful design with a nice box shadow that you need for your next beautiful project. And as always, I want to create something new that you guys might be interested to use it as a CSS for your design and your next project. Okay, anyway, first we're gonna create this homepage, this 3 beautiful cube as you can see it, and you can see with this animation. And to be honest, it's very simple because I don't want the video to take too much time. So I didn't use a JavaScript, I just use a CSS instead of that with the keyframes of the CSS. And if I use a JavaScript, I think this will be better, but let's make it simple because I think this video is too long if you see it. Okay, so I just make it the animation simple. Hope you guys don't mind me for that. Okay, so yeah, and you can see this menu, it's not position fixed, so I just make it a simple design, just a simple menu. Yeah. And this is a beautiful hover. We're gonna create it with a JavaScript, and we're gonna create it with a JavaScript again, simple. So don't worry about it. Okay, we're gonna learn it in JavaScript. Okay, next we're gonna create something new. So as you can see, I just created this 3D model with a CSS, and we're gonna create it with a matrix 3D, and it's really hard to find what is the best animation for your model cube. So I just keep trying to create something like this, as you can see it with a matrix 3D. I just keep changing width, changing height, and changing a matrix 3D and make it something better, as you can see right here, this animation. Okay, so yeah, we don't need to use any tool for this. We're gonna just use this 3D cube of this 3D CSS, and we're gonna create this, as you can see, about page, and this is our client page to use as your company support. Okay, and this is our plan. This is something that you might be interested. So when you click on this, instead of going to another page, we're gonna make it in the same page with this beautiful butterfly that I just created from my CSS library design. So I just use my CSS library to just create this beautiful butterfly, as you can see it, and I just add a matrix 3D to make it smoother and make it a little bit and make it a little more live, if you see what I say by that. But yeah, we're gonna create that, and you might be interested using a background image. And yeah, and as you can see, this is the contact page and this is the footer page. So yeah, this is it, I think. And you might be interested using a background image for your cube. So as you can see, if I just added this background image for your cube, as you can see, I have some images. So I will put a link in the description with this source code of this, that you might be a get error for your JavaScript and other thing. So I just put the file in the description, so just download it. Okay, and if you like, you can add this just like I just say it. You can just use this, yeah, this background or other background. So I think I have 4, I just didn't create more. I think this is enough for you. And yeah, and just like you see in here, this cube, even if you add it here, it become a black, as you can see it from CSS style. So yeah, this is all you need to know about this website, and hope you guys be interested. And if you're just interested in other page or another section, just choose a keyframes and create it for your project. Okay, and before to start this video, guys, I still didn't finish this Laravel page, so I just created this sign up and the sign. As you can see, this is the whole of this CSS style for your backend website of this Laravel. We're gonna use a Laravel for this. So I just didn't finish this Laravel page for admin page and the user page. I just wanted some more time for this, and when I just finish this Laravel, I will absolutely create a video for a backend website, just giving it time to finish it. And for the making application just like this, since nobody or never wanted me to just create an app, because I didn't get any interest from my previous video, as you can see, I just have a little view. So yeah, I just canceled this creating a React app. So yeah, so we just gonna create this front end and back end for your project. So let's get started. Okay guys, I just zoom out to this website to just explain what we need to just create in HTML. So I don't want to type it because I wanted this video be short. Don't take too much time for this video, guys. So I just type it very fast. Sorry for this, guys, but I want to just make sure to end this video very fast. So hope you guys are ready for this. Then let's get started, guys. Okay, so this is our HTML. I just added this style sheet, home.css, menu.css, about the CSS. So I just want to create this section for this in another CSS to just make sure it's not messy and it's not have a big file for this CSS. I want to just separate this CSS, and this is our JavaScript, and this is our image that we want to create it, guys. So yeah, let's get started, guys. Okay, so in HTML, guys, first as always we're gonna create this hero. Inside this hero I'm gonna create header. So first we're gonna start with this header, and I want to just create this logo and this menu. Okay, so now in this menu I want to create this menu click to user click on this and show this menu. So inside this menu I'm just gonna add this icon and the just some style inside this. Okay, so this is our basic HTML. Now I'm gonna add this new menu. So when you user click on this, a new menu open up, as you can see it. So inside of this new menu, guys, I want to add this second menu, which is home, about, plan, contact, which is this text just to user see this the link. Okay, now I'm gonna add this cube menu, which is this, and first I'm just gonna add this cube open to, which is this guy's cube. You can see I add this icon hover inside of this cube open to, which is, if you can see when user hover this icon show it. So this is the first icon, as you can see the home show it, and this is the second icon. We're gonna add it with this JavaScript, guys. So just add it in HTML. Next we're gonna add this another cube. As you can see, this is the same cube of this cube open to. So I want to add this, as you can see, the blue background cube, and you can see when this cube become a purple, also this blue background, you can see it change it like this, guys. So I want to add this another cube, the same of this, and we're gonna add just adding a blur inside of this, guys. Okay, so this is our menu. Okay, guys, now let's just go to create this inner, guys. So first I'm just gonna add this inner and this some text inside of this. You can see the h1, I just copy and pasted this description, and now we want to create this second row, which is this have this 3 cube. So first I'm gonna create this cube, which is here. Okay, and I'm gonna create another cube which is in center of this. You can see this is a small. We're gonna add a just style inside it to just be a small, the scale to just be a smile. Okay, a small, sorry. Okay, now the next cube, which is a cube 2, you can see this is the same of this. We're gonna create it. Also we're gonna add this a cube 2 again, because we want to create this background linear, as you can see, which I'm gonna add a blur to just hide this. Okay, now we're gonna create this as third cube, as you can see the blue color. Here we go. So this is our second row, as you can see, and this is our inner basic. Now this is our homepage, guys. Let me just make sure to add a comment to just we want to create the next section. So this is about, we're gonna create it. First I'm gonna add a section, and I'm gonna add ID because I want to add some animation inside of this JavaScript. So just add it for now, and I'm gonna explain it in JavaScript. So I'm just gonna add this ID height 1. Okay, so inside of this section we're gonna start with about. So basically this is a main of this div of the whole of this about page, guys. Okay, so inside it we're gonna create first this background of this about, and this with a before of this square. Okay, now we're gonna create this flex because I want to create this, and I'm gonna add a display flex. Okay, so first I'm just gonna add a row. So I'm gonna add a row because I want to add the some style, the display and other thing. Now inside of this div I'm gonna add this cube. So if you can see, I just added this div because I want to add the div. So if you sometimes use a position absolute for your div in a display, it's gonna not working. So just add this div because I want to make sure the display also work for this cube when I want to add this absolute for this cube, and we're gonna add this position relative inside this div. So just add it, guys. Now let me just add this text letter, our approach. Just add it, and now let's go just create this text. So I'm just gonna add h1 and e of this description. Okay, now let's go to just create this another row which is the same of this. So just copy paste it and this, and first I'm just gonna add this text just like this, and copy paste this description, and I'm gonna add this div because just like I said I want to add a position relative. Okay, and add cube open. The next cube, as you can see, we're gonna create it with just a difficult animation, guys, with a matrix 3D. Okay, so this is our fourth div, as you can see it. Okay, now let's go to just create a row 2 because in row 2 I'm gonna add a flex action column because I don't want to be in the same line of this. You can see I wanted this 3 card in another line. Okay, I'm gonna first add the text center because I want this text be a center of this, guys. Okay, and I'm gonna add a box card because I want to add this 3 card in one div that have, you know, they have a boss, which is this. Okay, box card. And now let's go to just create the first box. Okay, this is our first box, F1 box, first box. Okay, I'm gonna add this, you know, the text icon and this text as you can see it. So let me just make sure you can see it. Okay, so F1 box. Now let's just go copy and paste it, and F2 box, F3 box, and just add and just change this, you know, the icon and this H1, guys, to just make sure to go to the next. So this is basically, this is about page, guys. This is everything you need to just create it. Okay, now let me just add a comment, guys, to just go to the next page. So in the next section, I'm gonna add again the ID height 2. I need it for this JavaScript, just add it. So in this next section, I'm gonna name my main div to blog. So just name it simple. Yeah, let me just name it blog. Okay, now inside of this blog, I'm gonna add this pad because I want to create this, as you can see, this line, beautiful line. I want to create it, so I'm just gonna name it pad. We're gonna add this before and after, and inside it we're gonna add a text letter just like this because I'm gonna add, you know, the letter spacing for this, and we're gonna add it for this, guys, letter spacing. Okay, now let's go just create this client, which is this text and this icon. So first I'm just gonna add this view to have this 3, you know, this 3 icon inside this view. Okay, and the next view is view 2. I'm gonna add just, you know, the margin or padding, you know, just some style to just fix this. I'm gonna add this text inside it, which is F1, F2, F3, just like this, guys. Okay, so this is basically of this client. Now let's go to the next section. Let me just add a comment plan. Okay, now let me just add another section, name it hide 3 for this with ID. Okay, I'm gonna add a plan, which is our main div. Inside the plan, again, we're gonna add this pad 2. As you can see, this is our pad 1 and this is our pad 2 because it's not the same. I want to just reverse it, so I'm just gonna add the pad 2, guys, and I'm just gonna add this text to just make sure I have a text with a margin tab style, guys. Also, I'm just add this scroll. Okay, and again, let me just create this box card again, just like this same style of this box, have this 3 box, as you can see it. And I'm just gonna add this margin top because I want to have distance between this pad 2, guys. So I'm just gonna add this 150 pixel for this padding, for this margin top. Okay, now before to just create this 3 card, I want to create this, you know, this butterfly, like you can see this beautiful animation. So let me just add it here. I'm just gonna name it FPS with underscore, guys, and I'm gonna add F1 PS2, F2 PS2, you know. So I'm just gonna name it and adding a before and after for this, and make sure to add animation to just make it beautiful like this, guys. Hope you understand this. So this is our for this butterfly. Okay, now let me just add a card. So F1 box again, we can add ID because I want to add the JavaScript for this, guys. When you use a click on this, the F1 box show it. Okay, so inside this we're gonna create this basic $10 and icon, as you can see, with this a link. Okay, so let me just copy and paste it, F2 box and F3 box, and I'm just gonna add this escape box because I want to just make sure this box have a different box shadow, and you know, to just make its size bigger than these two, just make it beautiful. Okay, so yeah, this is everything. Now let me just create these, as you can see, with this cube with this link. So let me just create these, you know, card inside. So this is a first card inside of this, you know, F1 box. Okay, we're gonna add this P, just name it simple class P, and I'm gonna add this icon again, icon of this with this is some text. Sorry if I didn't add the error icon. Okay, let me just add this a link, and let me just add this cube, guys. So I'm just gonna name a new name for this cube. You can see cube open C1. I want to just make sure to just move it to the right because you can see this is a left and this is a right. So just name it simple. So just name it another name for this cube open C1. I'm just gonna name it very simple. Okay. Now let me just add this card inside to just copy and paste it, guys, for this next. You can see, and you know, again copy paste it for the card inside 3. Simple. Here we go. So this is our, you know, the plan of this page. Now let me just add a comment for the contact, guys. Okay, now the next section, again we're gonna add this ID for this high 4. Just gonna add this text, a letter. Again we're gonna add this, you know, the letter spacing, and you can see this is it. Just add it for this, guys. Okay, now let me just add this contact, which is this form, I'm gonna add this first. I'm gonna first add this step again because I want this display make sure to work for this form, guys. Okay, so let me just make sure. So let me first create this cube. Let me just make this cube 5. As you can see, this is a bigger one, and this cube 6 for the small one. Okay, now let me just make sure to create this form. So form, inside of this form, I'm gonna add this form and F2 form, which is this, and this is F2 as you can see the submit. There we go. And the last one is this footer. I'm gonna make sure to just create it very fast. So page footer, we're gonna create this footer. We're gonna add the logo first, as you can see, and we're gonna add this 3 link, as you can see. So flex footer, I want to add this flex and cool of this 3 link, as you can see. There we go, guys. So this is our basic of this HTML, guys. Now let's go to just style this, guys, to just make sure styling this home CSS menu. This is everything we need for this. Let me just remove this, guys, my bad. Okay, now let me just make sure to open live server. Okay, guys, now let's go to just style this home page first. So first in home.css, let me just make sure to add some star, the font size, the font family. So I'm just gonna copy this and paste it, just like always. Just like always in my previous video, that I always use this, this star of this box sizing and padding 00, and the body. Yep. So this is our background color, as you can see it, guys. Just add it, and this is our box shadow for this. This. Let me just make sure to just see it, guys. Okay. And let me just make sure. Okay, there we go. So this is our background, as you can see, and this is our scroll, as you can see. So basically just add it, guys. So this is a basic of this. This is our logo H1, just a style, and this is our H1 font size, the color, margin, bottom, all the thing we need for this website, guys. So just add it very fast, just pause the video and just type it. Also don't forget about this section, guys. So again, let me just scroll down to just you can see, just add it very fast. Okay, so if you add it, now let's go to just create this. So as always, we're gonna start with hero. As always, we're gonna add this hero. We're gonna add width 100%, height 100 vh, and also I'm gonna add the position relative. And the last thing, I want to add this overflow hidden, because if I want to add this cube, we're gonna get a little overflow for this, guys. So just add it for now. And let me just make sure it's zoom out. Okay, I'm just gonna zoom out, just you can see it for now. Okay, so this is our hero. Let me just make sure to add this header, guys. So inside this header, we're gonna add this flex and the justify content, space between, and the line item center. And let me just add this padding, the 50 pixel for the top and the bottom, and the 10% for the left and the right. Okay, so this is our header. Now let me just add this inner for this, the main of this homepage. We're gonna add this display grid to just make sure have a display for this. We're gonna add this grid template column, repeat to 104 for this, guys, and align item again center. Okay, and also let me just add this little distance for this space for this, guys. So I'm gonna add this grid gap 50 pixel, and let me just add this position absolute to just make sure it's center, guys. I'm gonna add top 50%. I don't need to add this left because I'm gonna add the padding, so just add a top 50% and just add this transform translate y minus 50%, and just add this transform translate y minus 50% to just make sure it's a center of this top. And now let me just add this padding to just make sure have a padding just like this for the left and the right of this, guys. So I'm just gonna copy and paste it and make sure it's padding 0 pixel and the 10% for the left and the right. Here we go. Okay, so this is our inner, and also I'm gonna add this width just in case when we need this. Okay, so this is the basic stuff. Now let me just add this second row for this cube, guys. Let's get started. So in the second row, I'm just gonna add a simple style because it's just simple div. I'm gonna add the width and the height for this. So let me first just add the content empty, width and the height be the same 500 pixel for this, guys. So just add it, and I'm gonna add this position relative. Okay, and I'm gonna add this margin 0 to become a center of this div. Now let's go to just create a cube, guys. So let me just make sure to just name all of this cube in the same, because we're gonna add the same style for every cube, and just gonna change the background and the size, this just change the animation. So I'm just gonna So I'm just gonna start with this cube open, and the cube open 2, and the cube open 3. All of the cube, I'm gonna name it here, guys. So I'm just gonna name it here for this, guys. Okay. And yeah, basically you can see in this HTML, you can see this is a cube 2, and the cube 3 we can have it for this cube 3, you know, the cube C1, and the cube the 5 and the 6. So we're gonna add it in this style. We're gonna add the same style just like I said. So first let me just add the position absolute, top 50% and the left 50%. Just make sure it's a center, translate minus 50%, minus 50%. And also I'm gonna add a scale 0.5 because I want to be small for the first cube open. Okay, and I'm gonna, you know, scale up, you know, make a big size for the cube 2. So for now let me just make sure it's small for this cube 1. Okay, and I'm gonna add this width and the height 400 pixel. Okay, now let me just add this index 5 and the transition. In any case, if we want to add, you know, the hover, but I don't think we need that, but just add it for this transition. And margin 0 height to just become center. Okay, also before to just create this cube, I'm just gonna add this animation, guys, and brightness for this 5 seconds and the linear forwards infinite. I want to just add a little brightness for this first cube, guys. Just make sure it's, you know, the glow up of this cube, just make sure it's beautiful, and just show the box shadow with just like a glass for this, guys. So I'm just gonna add this animation. It's a simple animation, but we don't need animation for the cube 2 and the cube 3. So this is just for this cube 1. Okay, I'm just gonna explain it, but let me just continue, guys. Now let me just make sure to create this brightness keyframes. To just go to the next, guys, it's a simple keyframes. I'm gonna add 0%, 50%, 100%. To just make sure I add this filter brightness 1 as a default it's 1, guys. Okay, and in 50% I'm just gonna add a 2 to just become a more brightness, guys. And in 100%, just like a 0%, we're gonna add this 1. Okay, just copy and paste it. And you cannot see it for now because we didn't create this cube. So let me just continue. Let me add this cube open 2, guys. I'm just gonna add this transform translate, also because I want to add this scale to just make sure it become bigger. As you can see in the first video, guys, I want to have a more size instead of this cube 1, guys. So instead of this scale 0.5, I'm gonna add this 1.1. And also we don't need this animation, just like I said. So I'm just gonna add animation on. We don't need this brightness for this. You can add it if you like it, but I don't think it's necessary, guys. So now just add it for this animation now. Okay, now the next cube open 3. Okay, again just add this animation now because we don't need the animation for this, guys. And now for the cube open 4, again I'm just gonna resize it for this. Just make sure just scale become bigger to 0.9 instead of 0.5 for this cube open 4. Okay, and we don't need animation anymore. Okay, here we go. Now let's go to just create this cube. So I'm just gonna name it all of this cube, the cube and the cube 2, cube 3 and the cube 4, just like we name it in this HTML. And also you can just download the source code if you didn't type it this HTML, guys. Just download it with this JavaScript and all the things you need for this source code. So this is a cube, guys. Okay, I'm just gonna add this position absolute first, and I'm gonna add the top minus 70%, left minus 100%. And the transform to just make sure rotate X hab and rotate Y to just add animation inside of this. Okay, so this is you know, this is a default of this transform, and I'm gonna add this width and the height the same of this 200 pixel, and I'm gonna add a transform style the preserve 3D. Okay, now let me just add a background transparent, and I'm gonna add a transition just in case, just like I said, in case we need to just create a hover for this. And now let me just create this animation. So I'm just gonna name it the first animation, just like this cube, guys. So I'm just gonna name it the cube 20 seconds is out infinite. Okay, we don't need the forwards. You can add it, but we don't need that. Okay, so this is our animation. Let me just create this animation, guys. Let me just make sure I have this keyframes. So for this keyframes of this cube, let me add 0%, 20%, 40%, 50%, and let me see. Let me add this 60% and 80% and 100%. So this is a keyframes of this cube. And I'm just gonna change this transform, you know, the rotate X and rotate Y. And for this 20%, I'm gonna change it, decrease it, increase it for this rotate Y and rotate, as you can see it. Now in a 40%, again, I'm just gonna change this rotate X, rotate Y to just make it move with this cube, guys. So basically, if you want to just make it move for this animation, you can just change this rotate X, rotate Y, and rotate. You can see in inspect if you try it. Okay, and let me just add this for the 50% for this rotate Y. Okay, Now in a 60%, again, I'm just gonna, I'm just gonna change it, and 80%, I'm just gonna copy this 20% and paste it here. So just add it very fast, just copy and paste it, and 100%, again 0%, just copy and paste it. So this is a cube animation, guys. Okay, here we go. Now let's go to just create a cube 2. Again, I just want to change this animation and this transform if we need that. Okay, so I'm just gonna change this transform for this cube 2, and also I'm just gonna change this cube animation, guys. I want to have another animation. And before to just create these keyframes of this, let me just make sure to have a top 25% and the left 25%. Just make sure it's not the same of this, the same of this position of this cube 1. I want to change a cube 2, guys, the position. Okay, so now let me just create this keyframes. I'm just gonna create it. You can just copy this paste it. So let me just add a 0%, 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, and 100%. 0%, I'm just gonna copy and paste this transform that we just created right here, paste it here, and also 100%. 20%, I'm just gonna change it, the rotate X, simple animation, just a little change it. You need to just change it to the, just move it like fast, but just a simple change. 40%, again, we're gonna change it, and yeah, and 60%, we're gonna change it, and 80%, we're gonna change it again. 100%, we're gonna add the same of this 0%. So basically, you can see we just decrease it, and increase it. This rotate X and this is rotate Y, as you can see it, guys. So just add it for this keyframes, and let me just make sure to add this box shot and the background to just see how this animation works, guys. But for now, let me just continue. Okay, so in a cube 3, guys, I'm just gonna add the same animation of the cube 2. So I just copy this transform of this cube 2, as you can see it, guys, and paste it. And also I'm just gonna copy this, paste it here, this cube 2, but I'm just gonna decrease this a little time of this cube 2, guys, and make it reverse instead of this forward, guys. Okay, hope you understand for this animation. And let me add the top to just change this position. So the top 160% and left 65%, guys. Here we go. So this is our cube 3. Let's go to the next. So the next one is a cube 4. Sorry if I just take it too much time for this, guys, my bad. But let me just make sure to add all animation, then we go to just create this box shadow. My bad, sorry for this, guys. So cube 4, again, I'm just gonna add this new animation. The cube 4 30 second is out, forwards infinite. Okay, and the top 25%, left 25%. Okay, now let me just make sure to add these keyframes, guys. If you just created this, pause the video and just create it very fast. So in a cube 4, guys, I'm just gonna 0%, 20%, 40%, 60%, 80%, and 90%, and 100%, just like this, just like, just copy this, paste it for this, and just add this 90% because we're gonna need it for this cube 4. So 0%, just just copy the same of this, the cube that just started right here, guys. Just copy and paste it also for this 100%. Okay, and I'm just gonna change. And I'm just gonna add the width and the height because it's for this, the about page. For this about page of this cube, if you see the, the difficulty of this animation, we're gonna create this 3D object. So I'm just gonna change the width and the height, and I'm gonna add matrix 3D, and I'm gonna explain it. But for now, let me just continue. So this is a 0%, the same width, the same height. Just add it with this top 25%. Also add it for this, guys. We're gonna change this top. So in a 20%. We're gonna add this, we're gonna add this matrix 3D. Let me just make sure to just see it, guys. So 20%, I'm gonna add this rotate, just increase it for this, and increase for this rotate Y, and increase for this, and yeah. So this is a 20%. I'm just gonna add the width 250 pixel and the height 150 pixel. So I just increase this width and decrease this height for the 20%, guys. And the top is same. No need to change it for now. So in a 40%, we're gonna decrease this rotate X, and we're gonna decrease rotate Y, and we're gonna increase again the rotate of this. Okay, so I'm just gonna add this matrix 3D again. So just copy this matrix 3D that we just created right here and paste it here. Okay, and let me add this width and the height. So just the same of this width, but the height I'm just gonna increase it to 310 pixel. And for this top, I'm just gonna just decrease it for this to make it 10% for this, guys, because if you just if you add the width and the height, this this cube just gonna change this position. So this is why I just decreased this top. Yeah, and I'm gonna show it, but for now let me just make sure to just continue. So 60%, again we're gonna add this simple style of this transform, the rotate X, just decrease it, increase the rotate Y. And other thing, I'm gonna add this width and this height. Also I'm just gonna increase this height, okay. And let me just in 80%, again I'm just gonna reverse this matrix 3D, and I'm gonna increase this rotate X, as you can see, and rotate Y a little bit, okay, and rotate. But as you can see, the matrix 3D in here, it's 0.3. It's not negative or minus, but you can see I added this minus because I want to be a reverse of this matrix 3D, guys. So just make sure to add this, guys. And also I'm gonna add this width of this and this height of this, guys. Just add it. There we go. Now I need to change this top 10%, and the next is, and the last one is 90%. Again, we're just gonna copy this, paste it, and a little bit change this rotate X, rotate Y, and the rotate. Just copy and paste it for this, because we don't need this minus anymore. Okay, we're gonna add this width and the height, and we're gonna decrease a little bit of this height because we're gonna just make sure to just come back to the same of this 0% of this 100%, guys. So I'm just gonna decrease this height, and I'm gonna add the top 10% for this. And in a 100%, I'm gonna make sure it's a top 25%, guys. So just copy paste it, this width and the height and the top of 25%. Here we go. So this is of this difficult of this animation of this matrix 3D, guys. So now let me just continue. Now I think we're gonna add this background. Yeah, let me just make sure to add this background. So I'm just gonna add this cube left, right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm gonna add this position absolute, top 0, left 0. And the width and the height be same 100%, and the transform style the preserve 3D, because we're gonna create this 3D with a CSS. So in a cube left right of this span that we just created right here, as you can see we just added the style of this eye. As you can see, we're gonna add this position absolute again, the top 0, left 0 again, just gonna add this width and height the same of this, and we're gonna add this transform rotate by, because I want to just make sure it's a cube. So just add a calc 90 degree and the translate Z 100 pixel. And now let me just make sure to add a box shadow to just make sure to just see this cube. Sorry for this. So box shadow, I'm just gonna copy and paste it. And yeah, this is this is a box shadow of this. It's too much. Just pause it for now and just type it very fast. So just go to the next, and let me just make sure to see it. Here we go. So this is a first box shadow of this, as you can see at the left and the right. And as you can see, this is a first of this animation, and I'm gonna explain an inspect of this Chrome. So for now, let me just continue. So this is the first animation. The second animation is just like I said, it's a simple animation. Just move to the linear. And the cube 4, as you can see, this is a cube 4. As you can see, this is a difficult that we just use at this matrix 3D. Let me just make sure to add this top and the bottom of this cube, guys. So I'm gonna add this transition. Now let me just add this cube top first. Cube top 2 and 3, 4. Okay, I'm just gonna add this position absolute. Top left 0. At the top, I'm gonna add it 130%. I'm gonna add the width and the height be same 200 pixel. And I'm just gonna add this box shadow again. Just copy this, paste it. If you just type it very fast, just copy and paste it here. Okay. And I'm gonna add a transform, rotate X 90 degree, and the translate Z for this, guys. For this cube top, just make sure it's created for this cube, guys. Okay, and also I'm gonna add the transition. Now for this cube bottom, we're gonna add this position absolute, left 0, top minus 150% to just make sure it's the bottom of this, guys. And now let me just add the same of this width and the height, the same of this box shadow, just copy and paste it. And for this transform, I'm gonna change this to just make sure that this translate Z be a minus 400 pixel. And the transition of this, here we go. Just just copy and just change it very fast. Okay, so this is our the top of this and the bottom of this cube. Here we go. So we just created this first cube. Here we go. Now let me just make sure first. Let me just make sure to change this box shadow and change this box shadow, change this box shadow of this the color. So I'm just gonna copy very fast, paste it here. I'm just gonna type it very fast. So cube left to span and the cube top to cube bottom to of this, then the second of this cube. I'm gonna add this background first. We need the background and for this box shadow, as you can see. So this is basic box shadow. It's not like this, it's not like this big of this. So just type it very fast and add a border radius 5 pixels. So as you can see, this is a second of this. Here we go, it's beautiful. And let me just make sure add animation, just like you see in the first video. We did add this purple background, as you can see. So I'm just gonna add animation, and I'm gonna name it sample bg 50 second is out forwards infinite. So I'm just gonna add the color white. I'm just gonna add the background white to just make sure this cube become purple. Okay. So in the keyframes of this pg 0%, 40%. Let me just 40% and 75% and 100%. In 0%, just copying this background and paste it here. Okay, 40% again, copy paste it. But in a 75%, just like I said, I want to be white. Just make sure it's purple. And the 100% again, the same of this cube, the same of this background. Now let's see it. Let me just see it. So it's take just a minute to just show it. Here we go. As you can see, this is our animation and become purple. Here we go. So this is our cube 2 of this box shadow. And we're gonna add this blur. So for now, let me just continue, guys. Now the cube left 3 for this blue color. I'm gonna add the box shadow first. So for this box shadow, this is a first box shadow, and if you didn't like it, you can use this. I'm gonna show it for now. So I'm just gonna show the first one, this, to just show you. If you didn't like this, you can just change it for this, guys. And let me just add this more border radius 5 pixels. Here we go. And you can see this is the box shadow. If you didn't like it, you can use this of this purple little, this little color of this, but I don't think it's necessary. So I'm just gonna add this simple color of this blue color. Here we go. So next is a cube left for this above page. As you can see, we're gonna add this, the purple of this color. So I'm just gonna add the box shadow again. I just gonna copy this, paste it, just gonna change a little bit and sort for this RGB. So yeah, basically this is our cube left 4 and the cube top 4 for this, and you can see this is a purple one. Here we go. And also let me just make sure that the border radius 5 pixels. Okay, there we go. And let me add the last one is the text flex to just make sure to go to for the next page. And let me just make sure to add the position relative for this, guys. And also I'm just gonna add the top 50% to just make sure it's just make sure it's have this little bit of this top. Okay, so this is a basic style of this home.css, guys. And yeah, this is basic. Let me just make sure to just change this position. So as you can see, we just created this tab. Just like I said, I want to add the positional tab. Just make sure it's this display, and just make it this here. So I'm just gonna add this div here. Okay, and I'm gonna add this width and the height be the same 100%. No need to add more style for this, just add this width and the height, and just add this positional tab to just make sure it's here. Here we go. And you can see we just fixed this, and for this black color of this cube we're gonna create it. But for now, let's just make sure to go for this about page, guys. So yeah, this is basically, and this is a menu of this. So we're gonna we're gonna create it for this menu.css. But for now, let me make sure to just create this about, and yeah, let me just make sure to just create this. Then we go for this menu.css, guys. And before to just go to about the CSS, guys, just like I said, I want to just explain it to just make you let me just make sure to just show you. So for example, this is our this is our cube animation, as you can see it. Let me just make sure. Okay, where is the matrix city? Here we go. So for example, this is our animation of this cube. Okay, so this is a cube 4, and let me just hide this. This is our cube 4, which is here in about of this about page. So for example, if I want to add this, this rotate and the matrix 3D, you're gonna change it in inspect and add it for this keyframes, guys. So for example, I don't like this, just change it, make sure to like this, change it, rotate, and also you're gonna change it this. You can see you're gonna change it, just change it, and also just change this width and the height to see what's good or not. So for example, if I added this, the 150 pixel and this be 250 pixel, you can see we just created, and we're gonna just change this. You can see we just created a simple object with a matrix 3D. Just change this width and the height and see what's your good for your keyframes of this animation. So for example, if I just increase this width, decrease this height, you can see we just created this here. There we go. So basically just copy and paste it. So for example, I just copy this, paste it here. You can see, so this is a basic of this 90%. I just created an inspect and added for the keyframes, guys. And just like I said for you, just see what's your good for your animation, what's your good. I just change this rotatex, just create, as you can see, this is how to just create it right here. And if you didn't like it, just change it and replace it for the keyframes. Here we go. So for example, this is our next keyframes I just created. So hope you guys understand this, and yeah, this is how to just create this queue, how I just created this queue, guys. So yeah, let me just go for this, the about page, guys. Okay guys, now let's go to just create this style sheet of this about.css. But before that, let me just make sure to add, I just forget about that. Let me just make sure to add this background of this cube. Just like I say, we're gonna add this blur. So let me just make sure I add for this menu first. So this is a menu of this cube. Yep, this is our menu. I'm gonna add this style here, guys, and also you can add this, this, just name it, for example, blur, and just add this style sheet. But since it's this, I don't want to spend more time for this, to just make sure to add this, this blur and class list. I don't want that, so I'm just gonna add it here. You can add this blur, or add a new style, add a new class for this, and just add it for this, the home.css. So I'm just gonna add this style. Okay, I'm gonna add it very here very fast. So I'm just gonna add this filter blur. Make sure it's 85 pixel of this. Okay, and also let me just make it more color inside it. So I'm just gonna add this contrast of this 1.3. Here we go. Now it's good. And let me add this index -1 because it's affected this -1. Oh yes, let me just make sure. Just see. Okay, the index. Sorry for this. So this is a blur. The index -1. Okay, as you can see, there we go. And let me just make sure it's like, yeah, it's small. Let me just make sure to add more size for this blur. So instead of adding width and height, I'm gonna add this, the transform, just like we added in transit to just become center. I'm just gonna add it here, and here I'm gonna add this scale 1. Let me add 1.2. There we go. Now it's a little bigger. Yeah. Let me just let's just make it 1.32. Yeah, you can change it for the 4 or 2. I'm gonna add this 2. It's enough for this, guys. Yeah, it's, as you can see, I just zoom out. So sorry for this. Just gonna use it. Okay, here we go. So yeah, this is how to just create it. Just add it for now for this inner of this, that just like we created in this HTML inner. Let me just find it. Okay, the cube 2, and this is a cube 2. Just add this style. There we go. What's happened? Okay, there we go. Yeah, here we go. And let me just hide it, guys. So sorry for this. Let me just hide it for now. Yep, this cube menu. Just hide it for now. Yep, just hide it. There we go. Yeah. So we just hide this, and this is, I think, let me see, the cube. Oh yeah, this is a cube 6 for this, this contact page. And again, let me just hide it. Sorry for this. Cube 5 and cube 6. Let me see, the cube 5 is here and the cube 6 is here. Okay, so I'm just gonna hide it for now. The contact page, here we go, contact page, cube 5 and the cube 6. I'm gonna hide it. There we go. And for this become a small instead of this, let's just go in the inner of this. Let me just make sure to go in the inner. Again, I'm gonna add it. You can add the new classes, but I'm just gonna add it here. Just go to the about.css. Sorry for this. So transform, and again translate. Just make sure to become small. I'm gonna add a scale 0. Just make it here, okay. And also I'm just gonna add top to just change this position. Just gonna add this 32% and the left 27%. Here we go. As you can see, we just cut it. The first animation. Let me just make sure to find this first animation. Here we go. This is our first. Animation. Add it here. Now, instead of this adding reverse, let me just add it this to. Yeah. Let me just add more time for this. Now I think. Yeah. Now it's better. Yeah. Now it's better. Here we go. So yeah, this is how to just create this background linear gradient, and how to just create this blur of this. You can resize it if you like it, but I think it's enough. Yeah, I think this is enough because yeah. Then now let's go to create this about the CSS. So about the CSS, first I'm gonna add this about. Let me just make sure it's here. Okay. In about, I'm gonna add this position relative and the width and the height bi2. Okay, so this is a main div of this about. Now let me just make sure to create this flex because I want to add a display flex direction column for this. So display flex, okay, and the flex direction column. And also I'm gonna add the line items, and I'm just gonna add a little space. You know, this if you've seen the first video, have a more space. So instead of adding a margin, I'm just gonna add this gap 200 pixel for this. It's enough. And I'm gonna add this width and the height, guys. Okay, here we go. So sorry for this, it didn't work at this, you know, the live server. Okay, so yeah, this is a flex. As you can see, we added this 200 pixel for this space. Okay, now let me just add this cube bg. So in the first video, let me just cube. Here we go. So we're gonna create it right here and adding this our approach inside it. So let me just create it. Position absolute left 35%, and I'm gonna add the top 50%, guys. And also I'm gonna add a width and the height 200 pixel to just add a custom width and the height. Let me add now box shadow for this, and I think you can just, and I just change a little bit of this box shadow, so you can just copy the previous box shadow and paste it and just change a little, you know, the little of this RGB of this and the little of this inset. So just pause the video and just type it very fast, and let me add a translate to just make sure it's become center, guys. As you can see, yeah, this is our yeah. Let me just make sure to add this little transition and also border radius. Just make sure, yeah, now it's better. Here we go. And now let me add a little filter, opacity 0.5, and the contrast because I want not visible, you know, just little height for this. Just like the first video. So if you didn't like it, you can just remove this filter opacity. Just remove it if you didn't like it. Now let me just create this before and after to just make sure to just create this and this. So for this QBG before, I'm gonna add this content empty, position absolute left 131%, and the top I'm gonna add 64%. Now the height I'm gonna add 210 pixel with 40 pixel. And I'm gonna just add this box shadow, so I'm just gonna copy and paste it and little bit change it for this, guys. Okay, here we go. So this is our box shadow, and just pause the video and just type it very fast. And you know, I'm gonna add a skew instead of the matrix 3D. Just add the skew a little bit. So transparent it be a -50% and -50% to just become center. And I'm gonna add a skew 0 degree first one and the 45 degree for the next one. There we go. Also I'm gonna transition. There we go. So this is our first before, as you can see it. And let me just make sure to add after for this. So I'm just gonna copy paste this. You can just copy and paste it. So cube bg after, I'm gonna add the content empty, position absolute, and the left I'm gonna change it at 79%, top 117%. Okay, I'm gonna add the height same of this, width be same of this, and the box should be the same of this. No need to change it, the same of this, just copy and paste it. And the transform translate, just gonna change a skew to just, you know, just change this first one be a 45 degree and the second one be a 0 degree. Also I'm just gonna add the rotate 90 degree to just make it. Okay, and transition. There we go. So we just create it right here, as you can see it. And also, just like I said, if you didn't like it, just delete it. So yeah, this is how to just create it, but I'm gonna add this. Okay, now let me just make sure to add this background of this about page. I just forget about that. So about page, I'm gonna add the content empty, width and the height be the same, 400 pixel. I'm gonna add the border radius be 50% to just make it a circle for this. Position absolute to just make it to the left. I'm gonna add the top I'm gonna add the top 35%, left minus 10%, just like I said, I want to be a left. And I'm gonna add the transit minus 50%, minus 50%. Okay. Now let's go to create a before. So this is a main box of this background. So we want to create a before and after. The first one for the blur and the second one for the square. So about page before, we're gonna add this content empty with be a 600 pixel height and the border radius be 50% and add the background. So this is our background, as you can see it. Just type it and let me add the position absolute to just change this position. I'm gonna add the top and the left. And make sure to the left be 10%, guys. There we go. Now the index, also copy it, filter blue, 200 pixel for this, and here we go. We just created this background, as you can see it. Yeah, simple background. Just add it. Okay. Now let me just add it after. Just like I said, I want to add a square, so I'm gonna add the matrix 3D for this. So I'm just gonna content empty, width and the height. Just add it. Just copy and paste it. And the border, add it. No need to add the background. We need a border for this. Just add 2 pixel solid and this color. Okay. And position absolute. Top 79%, left 102%. And this is our matrix that we're gonna add it. So translate minus 50%, minus 50%, and this matrix 3D, just add it. Yeah, just add it. No need for this. Okay. Just add it. And make sure to add this 2 because I want to be a small of this. Here we go. And this is index minus 2. Okay, next let's go to just create this row. Make sure it's good for now. So row, I'm gonna add the position relative and the width and the height and the display grid. So in the display grid, I'm gonna add the grid template column, repeat to 1 effort. Just make sure to have a 2 there for this and align item center. So as you can see, we just created this first row, as you can see. And also I'm just gonna add this row 2, just add this flex action column. So row 2, a display flex and the flex action column. Here we go. And the gap, just have a distance space for this card and this text center, guys. 100 pixel. Here we go. And the text align be a center. Okay. So as you can see, we just created this. As you can see, I think this is good. Let me see for this. There we go. Yeah, this is good. There we go. Yeah, this is good, guys. As you can see, we create everything, but I feel it's little big, this font size. No, it's good. Yeah, it's good. You can change the size if you didn't like it. This H1 and the description, guys, I think it's a little bigger, but I'm just gonna continue, guys. So yeah, I'm just gonna continue. Let me zoom out. Okay, let's just continue, guys. So yeah, this is our row 2. Let me just add this. Now let me just assign this box, and then we go for this. Yeah, this letter spacing. It's simple. So I'm just gonna assign this first box card. So box card, I'm just gonna add the display flex just for content, a space between for this card, and just add a space for this 50 pixel. There we go. Now let me add the position relative, and now let me just assign this F1 box, F2 box, F3 box. So content empty with 300 pixel, height I2, okay, and the box shadow be is this, as you can see it, guys. So just pause the video and just type it very fast to just go to the next. Okay, so after you just create this box shadow, just add this border radius, just make it a little bit better, and let's not forget about the padding, 40 pixel. Yep, here we go. We just cut it. And also I'm just gonna transition just in case if you want to add the hover for this, but we don't need that. But yeah, okay. And the position relative. And also I'm gonna add the left 0 just in case if we have any error for the size. So sorry for this. So yeah, and now for this description of this, I'm just gonna style a little bit of this, just decrease a little font size of this description. And also I'm just gonna add this p that we just created for this, you know, for this plan of this card inside. We're gonna just style this p that we have here for this. So just add it because it's same of this. So I'm just gonna add this font size 1.0, as you can see, just be small, and the width, just add a custom width. And for this you can remove it if you didn't like it, you know, because you know it's not good. You can see it's become a little overflow, but for now let me just make it here. Yeah, I'm just gonna fix it for now, but let me just, okay, so next I'm gonna style this icon. Yeah, let me just style this icon, little icon here. I'm just gonna add this also with this class list of this p that I just showed in HTML. Just add it with this icon. So I'm just gonna add the color, and let me add the font size to just become bigger. Here we go, 6 rem, and the padding 20 pixels. There we go, it's good. Okay, so here's a problem, guys. As you can see, this is bigger. That it's the font size of this icon. It's bigger, and if you see in the first video, it's small of this. So yeah, this is I want to not change this, but I want to change this. So if you can see, we have this p and the p. So this icon is inside of this p. So let's go to just style it here. F1 box p icon that have icon inside of this p. Hope you understand this, guys. So just just focus about this. It's a p that have icon inside it. Okay, I'm gonna add a font size 2 rem, and you can see we just fixed this problem. I'm gonna add transparency white, just make it, yeah. Well, you know what, let me add the padding for this, guys. I'm gonna add the padding 0 pixel, 10 pixel, 0 pixel, 0 pixel. Yeah, now it's good, guys. Yeah, there we go. So as you can see, we have this padding at 20 pixels. So I'm just gonna add this 0 pixel, 10 pixel, 0 pixel. There we go. Yeah, we fixed this problem. Okay, next let's just just style this a link. So I'm gonna add this link a, which is have inside of this card inside. As you can see, just gonna style the same of this. So padding 10 pixel, 25 pixel for the left and the right. Okay, box shadow, I'm gonna add this, as you can see it. So you can just and you can just copy this, paste it here for this a link, as you can see it, guys, for this box shadow. And let me just make sure to add the border radius 30 pixel. Okay, and the text decoration be none. Color, let me add font size 1.2 rem. Okay, color be a white, and let me just make sure the cursor be a pointer, guys. Yeah, here we go. And let me add a position relative. Okay, let me add a transition for this. Okay, because I think we're gonna add this little hover for this. Now let me just make sure to become a center of this 3 card, guys. So I'm gonna add a display block and the margin 0 I2 to become center, just like I teach you in a previous video of this. Here we go, and you can see it's now center of this. So let me just add a text align center to just make sure it's center, guys. Here we go. So we just created this a link, and you can just resize this, this box shadow with a width, custom width, but I don't think we need necessary for this, because this is I just zoom out for this website. Sorry for this, but we're gonna I'm gonna show it after we finish this. So yeah, this is a basic of this. Where is it? Okay, yeah. Now before you just style this plan, let me just make sure to style this, because it's very simple style. So I'm just gonna add it here. So we have, I think we have a blog, just like we name it the client. Yeah, here we go. We have a blog pad, yeah, client. Let me just make sure, also don't forget about this. So let me just add this blog. I'm gonna the width and the height be the same 100%, guys, for this client. Okay, I'm gonna add the position relative, and now I'm gonna add the pad and the pad 2, just like I told you about the pad. So for this pad and the pad 2, let me just make sure to add the width and the height, and then we go for the before and after, guys. So the position be relative with 100%. This is enough. Now for this before and after, let me add a pad before first. So pad before, I'm gonna add the content empty. I'm gonna add the width 100%. And I don't think we need a big create after, so I'm gonna add a border to the the top and the bottom, so no need for the left and the right, guys. So first let me add the height of 500 pixel, and let me add a border, just like I said, bottom and the top 2 pixels solid, and this color. So you cannot see it, but let me just make sure that the position absolute and the top 79%, guys, left 10%, guys. Now I think we can see it. Yeah, here we go. Now let me just create this transform to just make it with a matrix 3D, guys. So transform translate, just added this just like this, just copy and paste it, and I'm gonna just, and I don't think we need to change it, so just copy and paste it, this guys. And I think now we can see, yep, here we go, we just created right here. There we go, guys. And if you see, this is small, as you can see, because I add this 2 just become smaller, and if I just add a 1 to just show you right now, you can see it's become bigger. But let me just make sure it's 2. Here we go. Okay, next let me just add this index -2 to just not, you know, just make sure it's back of this text. Okay, and before to go to the next, guys, if you see in the first video, we added this background here, the blue just like this green. So let me just add a block before for this, and let me just make it content that you can just copy, you know, this about before. So I'm just gonna add it here with 30%, guys. For this here, I'm gonna add a height 500 pixel, and let me add a background for this. So this is our background of this, and let me just add this position for this position absolute to just make sure to add the top and the left. So the top is 160% and the left be 90%, guys. Here we go. Let me just make sure be a circle, guys, but first let me just make sure it's center of this. Yep, here we go. And now let me just add a filter first. So first filter, let me be a 178 pixel for this filter. Now I think, yep, okay, yep, we just created this background, as you can see it with the blur. Let's not forget about the border radius, 50 pixel. Here we go. Now it's a circle. So this is our box shadow of, so this is our background, so for this, and this is our background of this green color. Here we go. I'm gonna add this index -2, just like I said. I don't want, you know, I want this background be a back of this text. Okay. Okay, next let's go to just create this client. So for this client, I'm gonna add the width, height, and the transform translate y 200 pixel. Okay. So just make sure have a little margin instead of just little distance of this. Just add this. Okay, now let me just add a view and the view too, that we're gonna create this ion icon and this good node with a border, guys. So the view too is, so view and the view too, I'm gonna display flex and the justify content space between align item center, and the gap little distance for this 50 pixel. Okay, sorry. And now let me add the width, guys. Okay, now this is a view and the view too, but I want to have, you know, I want this first view have a different position, guys. So just gonna add a custom view here, guys. I'm just gonna add this transform translate x to just move it to the left, guys, just like seeing in the first video, guys. Just added this minus of 140 pixel, and there we go, we just got it. But we're gonna need to start this ion icon. So before to just start this ion icon, let me just add this f1, f2, f3. We're gonna add a padding 20 pixel, and I'm gonna add this width, and I'm gonna add this height for this custom height. No need to add a 100 pixel because we're gonna add this position relative and the text aligns. Now let me just add this before, just like we seen in the first video. We have this square, you know, this square with a border. So I'm gonna add it here, content empty, position absolute, top 50%, left 50%, and the transfer translate -50%, -50%. Also rotate to just make it with a rotate, guys. Okay, now let me just add the width and the height be the same 200 pixel, and let's not forget about the border. So border 2 pixel solid, and this a color. There we go, we just created, guys. Beautiful. So let me just add the background also. So yeah, and background for this, guys, and the z-index -1. Here we go. The reason why I add this background, I don't want this have effect inside of this. So as usual, these have a transparent, but I just add the custom background, as you can see, guys. Okay, now let's go to just start this ion icon, guys. So f1 ion icon, f2 ion icon, f3 ion icon. So I'm gonna add the position absolute, top 50%, left 50%, and the transfer translate -50%, -50%. Okay, also I'm gonna add a little color for this, and font size 600 and padding 20 pixel. Yeah. Oh, let me just not forget about this little spacing sort for this, guys. So now let me just add a text. First let me just add a custom text with, yeah, let me just add the custom text with. So I'm gonna add the width 500 pixel, z-index be a 1. Okay, also the position be a relative, guys. Just add it for this, guys, so we need that. So as you can see, and we're gonna fix this, so don't worry about this. So the text center, I want to add this as index and the position relative, and the text align be center. Okay, and to fix this problem, as you can see, we just added this with custom for this, so this is why it's not center. So let me just call it a text center h1 and the text center p to just problem. So text center h1 and the text center p, just add a max width. No, there we go. And also let me just add this margin 20 pixel and 20% for the left and the right, guys. Yep, we just created. Now it's good. Now let's go to just create this to just finish this about the CSS. So the text letter, I'm gonna add the position absolute, guys. The top 50%, the left 50%, and the transplant minus 50%, minus 50%. So just copy this, paste it here, guys. Okay. Now let me just add the letter spacing 40 pixel. There we go. Also, I'm gonna add the width. Okay. So the text letter h1 and the text letter 2 and the text letter 3, just like we have it here, guys. So I'm just gonna add the color for this, and you know, the max width be a none again. Just gonna copy paste it here, and the color be this, guys. Okay. And for this, I'm gonna start in this, you know, the contact and the blend of CSS. So for now, I think, yeah, this is good. And as you can see, yeah, we just created right here. So just add the max width now to just remove this, and yeah, now it's the same line as you can see it. Here we go. So this is our about page, this is our home page, beautiful, and this is our client. Now we want to just style this and this, then we go for the JavaScript to just finish a video very fast, guys. Okay, guys, now let's go to just style this plan. So in a plan.css, first let me just add a hide to just add an overflow hidden, because we're gonna add overflow hidden. So I'm just gonna add overflow hidden, I'm sorry. There we go. Now let me just add the text a letter 2. So let me just scroll down to just show you. So it's time to just make this our plans to add this, you know, the letter spacing for this. So I'm just gonna add this letter spacing 50 pixel, as you can see it. So okay, so next let me just add the width for 100%, guys, and also let me just add the pad 2 before, guys. So I'm just gonna create this, you know, the same of this. So this is a first pad. I'm just gonna create this next pad. I'm just gonna add this content empty with, you can just copy and paste it just like this, same with 70% and height it 500 pixel. It's the same style, you can just copy and paste it, and the position absolute, the top and the left, and the translate. But instead of this plus, I'm just gonna add a minus 0.002, as you can see it, guys. And also I'm gonna add the index 2, just like this. So let me just see it right now. Now let's just continue. So we added this pad 2 before, and this letter spacing, as you can see, this is our plan. Here we go. And let me just show you to just see more like this, and also this matrix. Here we go. So yeah, this is our, as you can see. I'm just gonna show it after we finish this, but let me just continue. So this is a pad before. Now let me just create this scale box. This I'm just gonna add a little, you know, just become a bigger, and also change this you know, a link of this background and the box shadow. So I'm just gonna add a simple, you know, simple this. I'm gonna add a transform scale 1.1 or 15. You can add the 1.2, it's up to you, and you can see it just now bigger, as you can see, simple. Okay, now let me just add this box shadow to just make it different from this other of this. Okay, so as you can see, this is our box shadow. Just pause it and just type it very fast, and here we go. And yeah, now let's just continue and just change this you know, this F2 box A of this A link. I'm gonna add this box shadow, just like I'm just gonna add this box shadow and just little decrease of this, you know, just change it very fast, little bit from this. Okay, so yeah, this is it, as you can see it. Here we go. Now let's just continue, and now let me just add a butterfly that I just show you in the first video. You can see the animation when a user click on this, the butterfly show it as a nice animation. So before to add a comment, guys, let me just add a card inside to just fix this problem. So I'm just gonna add a card inside 1, card inside 2, and the card inside 3. I'm gonna add a position absolute, top 58%, left 50%, and translate also will just be a center with a scale 1.2. Okay, and you can see now it's better. Okay, now let me just add opacity 0, and when a user click on this, I'm gonna show it. Okay, so just add opacity 0 for now. Okay, just we had it. Here we go. And also I'm just gonna add a transition for the JavaScript. So we need this transition just add it for now. Okay, I'm gonna explain it in JavaScript. So this is our transition. 1 second is out 0.1 second. And before to just go to the next, we have a link that so we have a link here. I'm just gonna add a link to just add a display flex to just be in the same line, guys. Display flex, here we go. Okay, and we can see it because I just hide it for now. Okay, so now let me just add a grid gap also to just add a space border. So I'm just gonna add 100 pixel and the position absolute, and the top 120% to just be here. I'm just gonna show it, but let me just write it. And the left minus 50%. And let me just show you very fast to just see it, and you can see now it's here. There we go. And we're gonna fix this position. So for now, let's just continue. Okay, and now let's just go add this link A. So I'm just gonna add a width, custom width for this, because in about the CSS, when we created this A link, starting the A link just didn't add the width for this. So I'm just gonna add it here, width be 130 pixel. And also, just before to just go for the butterfly, let me just add this cube that we have here. If you see it, okay, I'm just gonna add the cube open C1, just like we name it. Another name for this, let me just show you very fast. So you can see we just name it this cube open C1. I'm just gonna add a top 20% to just add the position for this. Just gonna change the position for this, and also I'm just gonna add the left to just be in the right of this 250%, guys. And the translate also, so we add so if you remember, we add the home.css, we added this transform with a 0.5. I'm gonna add a 0.8, just become a big size for this cube. And let me just add the last one, this cube.c1. Just gonna add the top 50%, left 50%, and the translate minus 50% to just become center. Okay, and before to just go to the next, guys, let me just show you the cube. Let me just, where is it? Okay, let me just show it. You can see it's now bigger, and here in the right of this, there we go. And also this A-link is working, here we go. So let's just continue, guys. So let me just add a comment for butterfly, because I think we finished. Yep, I think we finished everything. We don't need any more to just style. Let me just say fly. So this is our comment, yeah, let me just name it fly. Okay, now let me just add FPS. So this is a box of the six butterfly. I'm gonna add just position absolute, and the top 50%, left 30%, and the translate also with a scale to just become a little size instead of a big size. Just added this, and yeah, okay, now we just created this box of this the butterfly. Now let's just go to add this F1 PS2, F2 PS2, F3 PS2. This is my CSS library. Sorry if you don't like this name. You can just change it if you don't like it. But yeah, now let me just add the position absolute, top 50%, left 50%, translate also with a matrix 3D, because I want the animation be smoother. So when I want to create this animation, I always like using a matrix 3D. So if you don't like, you don't add this matrix 3D, but I like it because I think it's just gonna add some special animation for this. Okay, now let me just add a width for this 250 pixel and height 150 pixel. Okay, and let me just add a border for 4 pixels solid and this transparent. So we need that, just add it. Okay, and the border radius 50%. Okay, now let me just add the border top 4 pixels solid and this color. So this is a first of this butterfly, guys. Just added this color for this F1 PS2. Okay, and I'm gonna add animation. So I'm just gonna add animation M1, 15 seconds is in out, forwards infinite. So this is our animation, but for now I won't create it because let me just create all of this butterfly to just show you we just created. Okay, so then we go to just created this butterfly. So yeah, this is our animation, and we're gonna just add the 2 animation for this. No need to add more animation. If you like, you can add more animation, but now okay, opacity 0 for now. So this is our this is our butterfly. Now let me just add F2 PS2, just change the position and just change this border of this color. So I'm gonna add the top 180%, left 0%, and the border top just be this color of this pink color, as you can see it. Just just pink color. Now let be a same animation, but I'm just gonna change this second to 12 seconds, as you can see it. Okay, now for this F3 PS2, again we're gonna change this top minus 20%, left 180%, and the border top 4 pixels solid, and this color, then we're just gonna change it again. Also the animation, we're gonna change it to the new animation, different animation. For this we're gonna use M2 with this second 80-second and use is in out. Okay, so this is our 3 butterfly. Now for the 4 one, top 200%, left 80%, and the border top of this color little green, as you can see it, guys, as you can see it. Here we go. And let me adjust the animation M1 with a little, just decrease this to 13 seconds. Okay, now F5, the last one, we're gonna add the top 150%, left 100%, and the border top of this yellow color. Here we go. And the animation of this M2 with this 10 seconds, guys. Okay, so just create this. Now we can see it, but I want to create this before to just show you after that. And yeah, you can just see it if you can see it's here, as you can see it. But let me just make a before to just show you how it's beautiful. So let me just hide it for now. I'm just gonna add this F1 PS2, F2 PS2, F2 PS2 before. Just make a before for this to just be a glow up, you know, that the top of this line. So this is our before. I'm gonna add a content empty, position absolute, top 0. I'm gonna add a little right for this. Okay, and I'm just gonna add a translate with this rotate of this 33 degree and matrix 3D. So just add it, let me just show you it. So just add this matrix 3D for this before, guys. So we need a matrix 3D, just make it beautiful for this line. Okay, so we need matrix 3D for this. Now let me just add the width 100 pixel, height 5 pixel. Here we go. And also I'm just gonna add a border just like this, 4 pixels solid, transparent, and the border radius 50%. And instead of adding a border, I'm just gonna add a background. So the background of this, just gonna copy this color and paste it for this instead of this, for this background instead of border. Here we go. And we can see for now, let me just create this F2, F3, just gonna change this background. And also let me just add a box shadow for this. So this is our box shadow of this that just glow up this, you know, this before. So just add it, just pause the video and just type it very fast to just go to the next. So yeah, this is our first PS2 before. Now for the second one, guys, I'm just gonna add this background, the same of this, just copy this background of this color and paste it here. And the box that we just gonna copy and paste it and just change this color to this pink color. There we go. Now for the third one, again we're just gonna change the background and this box shadow. Okay, just pause the video, just type it to go to the next. Now for the fourth one of this color, just copy, you know, just copy this green color and paste it, and the box shadow, let me add this. Okay, now for the last one, just gonna add this border, the yellow card, and box shadow be a yellow card, as you can see it. Again, just pause the video and just type it this color of this box shadow, guys. So yeah, this is the whole of this. And before to just add the animation, let me just show you how it looks like. So let me see if we didn't get any error. So here we go. It's beautiful. Yep. Yeah, this is my CSS library, as you can see it. So opacity 0. Now let me just create this animation to make it beautiful with opacity 0. So this is why I add this opacity 0 for this M1. So I think we finished everything. Yeah, keyframes of the M1. Okay, 0%, 25%, 50%, 75%, and 95%, and 100%, guys. So in a 0%, I'm just gonna add this transform, and instead of using a left right, I'm just gonna change this, you know, translate. The reason why I don't use it left and right, because in a previous video, if you see my video, it just have a lag, you know, just little bug, you know. It's not good. I feel sometimes it's not good for the animation, so I want to be smoother and little bit better from this. So I'm just gonna add this translate. You can add the left right, just go to the inspect and just change this position of this, you know, with this inspect, and just add it for the keyframes, guys. So this is our first 0%. Now let me just add a 25%, this translate be 140%, and the 550%, and the rotate added here. There we go. And now let me just add opacity 1 to just show it. And in a 50%, I'm just going to decrease it instead of increase it. And we're going to add a rotate to just, you know, just make the animation better. And also I'm just going to add this, you know, this matrix 3D with this 7, as you can see it. So let me just show you. Okay, so this is our matrix 3D added with this. Now in a 75%, add this I just changed it in inspectors. You can just change it if you didn't like this position. So I just changed it with translate. Okay, and this is our rotate, and this is our matrix 3D. It decreases it from the 7 to the 5. Okay, now in 90% we're gonna add opacity 0. I'm sorry, we're gonna add opacity 1, and we're gonna hide it in 100%. Here we go. So just copy this and add this rotate 0 degree to just go to the default of this animation. Just add this rotate 0 degree and also opacity 0 to just hide it. So let's see it, guys. So this is our first animation. Here we go. It's very beautiful. Yep, nice. As you can see, let's go to just create this M2. Yep, and you can see this matrix 3D, make it a little big. As you can see, when you just go to the top, it's matrix 3D to make a nice animation for this with this. So this is why I use a matrix 3D for the animation, because it's have a nice animation when go to the top, make it like a better animation. There we go. Okay, so for the next animation of this M2, you can just copy and paste it, but let me just make it this instead of that. So keyframes of the M2, I'm gonna add 0%, 25%, again this same of this 50%, 75%, and 95%, and 100%. So 0%, I'm just gonna copy paste it here, the same of this, just copy and paste it. And then 25%, I'm just gonna change it to just change this left and the right and the top of this bottom, as you can see with this minus of this, guys. I'm gonna add opacity 1 to just show it, and I'm just gonna add this in 50%, change it again to this minus 850% and minus 370%, as you can see with this matrix 3D just added. And in a 75%, I'm just gonna add this again with this rotate, just gonna decrease it, and this of this just add it very fast. And in a 95%, just add opacity 1 to just make it to the 100%, hide it. Okay, just copy this and paste it here. We're gonna paste it here, and also opacity 0. So in 95%, opacity be 1, but after 5%, this opacity be 0. Let's see it. Yep, this is our animation, as you can see with this matrix 3D. Yep, it's nice. Also, it's become better when you just show it with this this cube. Let me just show you. So let me just make it this. Also, let me just, if you didn't write this CSS, I'm just gonna show it. Okay, I'm sorry for this, guys. So as you can see, oh, didn't show. No, not this, sorry for this. Okay, this, yeah, this is it. Sorry for that. Okay, here we go. Now you can see, guys, it's like something else. Yep, it's nice, guys. I feel like just become nice, but yes, it's better right now. Okay, here we go. So this is our animation of this butterfly that we just created, guys. Just pause the video and if you didn't just type it, just pause the video and just type it very fast. Just go to the next, guys. So yeah, there we go. So this is our plan, as you can see it, guys. And also let me just hide it, because we're gonna show it in this this JavaScript. So I'm just gonna add a display. No, just hide it. There we go. So yeah, we just got everything for this, and I think we've just finished this plan. Last thing, oh yeah, we have this contact.css, which is a footer, and this form. We're gonna create it, and the last one is this menu.css. We're gonna just start very fast. Okay, guys, now let's go just start this contact page, as you can see it. So let me just enable this cube. Okay, now in a contact page. So first, let me just add this contact, guys, and inside I'm gonna add display grid, template column, and this instead of using a repeat, because I want to make sure it's this form have more of this grid template column, and align item be a center, guys. Okay, and let me just add a gap to just make it a little space for this. So gap 50 pixel gap. Okay, and let me add a little height for this. So I'm just gonna add a height custom. So I'm just gonna add a 700 pixel. And the position relative. Okay, here we go. So we just created right here, guys. First, let me just style this text letter with this. So I'm just gonna add a text letter 3 inside the letter spacing. Let me a 50 pixel, just like this. But you can see we get overflow X. So let me just add the width 100%, and let me just add the overflow hidden to just hide this. And also you can see this the rest of this line that I just created, just hide it. And you can see, yep, we just hide it. There we go. So this is why I add this overflow hidden. Just make sure that I don't have any overflow X. Okay. Okay, now let's go to just start this cube 5 and the cube 6. So I'm just gonna start with a cube 5 and I'm gonna add this transform translate also with a big scale, because as you can see in the first video, the cube black, it's much bigger from the others. So I'm just gonna add a 1.5 for this. And yep, here we go, you can see it, guys. Now let me just make sure to add the animation none for this, you know, the brightness, I don't want that, just like I said. And let me just add this index -1. Okay, at the top 40% to just make sure to add this left also. Just gonna add this. Here we go. Now instead of changing this box shadow, I have a simple track to just make it black. So I'm just gonna add a filter, a gray scale to make it black. So I'm just gonna add this filter, gray scale, and the contrast 1.2. And as you can see, it's now become black with this grayscale, guys. Okay, so sorry for that. Okay, now it's black, guys, as you can see it. Now let me just add a cube 5 for this cube open 5. Again, I'm just gonna add a transform with a scale to just make it a little bit much bigger. Yes, it's now good. And let's just make it animation on. We don't need a brightness for this, as you can see it, guys. Okay, and also I'm just gonna add the index -1, type 9% with a left for this to just make it to the right. Here we go. And also I'm just gonna add again this grayscale with this contrast. Just copy and paste it, guys, to just make it black. And let me just add the animation because I want to be a different animation. So let's go to just, let's go to the index of this, and let's go to just contact and add it in here. You can add a new class list for this and add it inside this with animation. Just add the classes for this, but since, just like I said, since this video I don't want to get too much time for this, so I'm just gonna add it very fast here to just make sure to just go to the next and just finish it very fast, guys. So here I'm just gonna add a style. Let me just add a style. So the animation, we have a cube. Let me just name it cube 5. So this is a 4th animation for this that we just gonna create it. Let me a 13 second, and let me add a linear forwards. Linear, what happened, forwards, and infinite. So this is our animation. And before to just go, let me just create it very fast to just show you what I just created, and let me just save it. Here we go. So let me just add the keyframes of this cube 5. So cube 5, I'm just gonna add this 0% and 20%, 40% and 60% and 80% and 100%. Okay, so 0% just like this, just gonna add this transform of this. Okay, with this, as you can see, the rotate X of this just copy from the first one and just paste it. And now we're gonna change it just like always, just like the cube 1 that we just created. Just gonna change this to just move it different animation. So as you can see, this is a 20%, now 40%. We're gonna add this, we're gonna decrease the rotate, we're gonna just increase this rotate Y, decrease it just like I just created. Okay, and now 60%, we're gonna add this for 4 degree and rotate Y minus 41 degree. And yeah, now 80%, again we're gonna change it, and 100% be a 0%, guys. Just copy and paste it. So this is our animation of this cube 5 for this, as you can see, not for this, it's for this. Okay, and for this I'm just gonna add, let me just open this, and for this I'm just gonna add here the style. And let me just make sure to just copy and paste it, just not type it, just go to the next very fast. So let me just use a cube 2 that we just created in this home.css, and instead of forwards I'm just gonna add a reverse for this. Make sure to become a beautiful with a 20 second. And now you can see, here we go. So this is a reverse animation of this cube 2. It's a reverse animation, and yeah, with this. Okay, so let's just continue, and just like I said, just add a class list and add this animation inside it. So I just didn't add it, so yeah, let's just continue, and let me just add this form. So let's just start this form first. Just add a custom style display flex and content space between, and let me just add a little cap to just make it a space. So I'm just gonna add 50 pixels just like always, and margin 0.2 to become center. Now let's see it. So yeah, here we go. Now let me just add the position relative. Now let me just fix this problem. So I'm just gonna add the F1 form and F2 form. So F14, I'm just gonna add a display flex, the flex action column to just be in another line, guys. So now you can see we fix this problem, and a good gap, little gap for this 12 pixel. Okay, this is enough. Now let me just start. Let me just start with a label. So I'm just gonna add a color white and the font size also. So yeah, let me add the font weight 500 and let me add the margin left at 10 pixel. Yeah, that's good. Okay, now let's go to inside this input, text area, and button. So I'm just gonna call it all of them in one line. Okay, just gonna add the width, custom width 300 pixel, padding 15 pixel, and let me just add a background of this color. There we go. And let me add the border radius 30 pixel, border 2 pixel solid of this little black color, and let me just add the color white. Yep, now it's good. Now the text area, I want to just add the custom, the custom height. Just gonna add this height at 250 pixel, and also let me just decrease this. The border radius is too much for this text area, so I'm just gonna add 20 pixel instead of this 30 pixel. Yep, now it's better. Decrease this. The border radius is too much for this text area, so I'm just gonna add 20 pixel instead of this 30 pixel. Yep, now it's better. Now for this button, let me just add this font size first. Yep, and the cursor and the cursor pointer. So yeah, this is everything I think. Now let's just add the flex text to just add a display flex and the gap 100 pixel. Okay, and let me just add a transform translate white, just be a 50 pixel, and the width, custom width. Okay. So yeah, this is the basics of this flex text. Now let me just add the flex text A to just add a display in line block. So yeah, this is basically this contact page of this, this style of this. And let me just style this form. So I'm just gonna add a comment to just not confuse. So I'm just gonna name it footer page. First, let me just add a BG footer to just make it white. I'm just gonna add a push notif, and the background color be this. And let me see, here we go. Now let me just add a footer. So footer, I'm just gonna display flex. So gap at 200 pixel, let me just add. And let me just style this logo text. I'm just gonna add the margin auto 0 to just become center. And the position relative, here we go. So logo text H1, let me just add the font size for this. 3 rem is enough. Let me see. Yep, now it's better. And then let me add the color black. So let me just make all of this color be a black. So next is a flex filter, because I want to just add the display flex, Okay, now the cool, I'm just gonna add the display flex section column, just be in another line, and then let me add the margin for this instead of, padding or other thing. So I'm just gonna add the margin 0, 100 pixel, 0, 0 of this. There we go. And the position relative. Okay, let me just set this a link of this cool to just go to the menu. So this is a color of this a link, and let me just set the margin bottom 10 pixel and the text decoration be 9. Okay, font size be 1 rem, yeah, it's enough. And also the font weight, let be a 400, and let me add a transition for this. Okay, and the position relative. Now the cool a hover, let me just add this color black. Okay, now let me just add also the transform scale 1.2 to just become a little bigger, as you can see it. Okay, next let me just add a BG footer before to just create this, the line is in here. So I'm just gonna count it empty, position absolute, top 90%, left 50%, just make it center, and the translate minus 50%, minus 50%, minus 50%, and the width be 80%, and the height 2 pixel. Okay, the background be the background be a black. There we go. And the last thing, we're just gonna style this social media of this. So we're just gonna add this social display flex and gap for this 25 pixel, and let me add the social icon. Just add the font size 1.5 rem, color black, and the cursor pointer. Okay, and the padding 10 pixel. And also I'm just gonna add the border 2 pixel solid of this black color. So let me just make it a circle. So I'm just gonna add the border just 50%. Yep, now it's good. Let me just style this, just make it a cool this be black. As you can see, it's not. Now it's good, and now it's black. Okay, and let me add the font size 1.2 rem. Okay, and let me add the width, custom width. Okay, and the position relative. Now let me just add a before for this cool p. I'm just gonna add this content empty, position absolute, top 145% and left 50% to just to just make a line if you see in the first video. So I'm just gonna transform translate with this rotate to minus 10 degree, as you can see it. And now let me just add the width and the height. Okay, and now let me just add this background. Now you can see we just created this. Now I think this is everything, but let me just fix this. Yeah, let me just fix this custom width that we just added here. So let me just call this cool yes, the cool integer child 3p. Okay, we're gonna add the width 100%. Now, yep, here we go. We just fixed this problem. So let's go to the next, which is a menu page. And yeah, then we go for the JavaScript, and also we're just gonna create this media query to just finish this video very fast, guys. Let me just go to this. Okay guys, now in this menu.css, let's just finish the video very fast for this style sheet. So I'm just gonna add the menu first. So inside the menu, I'm just gonna add the transition first. So inside the menu, I'm just gonna add this transition because we're gonna need it for this JavaScript, guys. And also I'm just gonna add a menu click also with a new transition, guys. So we're just gonna add the same transition, guys. Just added this, we need that, okay. And next, let me just add the menu bg as a menu background. Let me just add a push narrative, and I don't think we need to create a background for this. Nah, no need for this. So let me just make it simple. I think we just created too much of this style, so let's just continue. No need for this background. So let me just add the menu bg ion icon to just style this to make it a font size, color, and the font weight. Let me just add that, and the color, let me add this. Okay, let me just add the transition also. Okay, let me just add cursor pointer and padding 20 pixels. There we go. So the index, let me add 1 to just make it clickable. You need to just make it -1. Okay, and the margin 0 height, yeah, to be just constant. So the second menu of this, let me just show you. And by the way, I just forget about to enable this, I think. Yeah, let me just enable this cube. I just forget about that, sorry. Okay, so yeah, this is a cube menu. Yeah, now second menu, let me just style this. Also, let me just delete this, we don't need that. Okay, so second menu, I'm just gonna add a display flex gap at 150 pixel. Okay, I'm just gonna add the position absolute to just be a bottom of this -5%, guys. Okay, and let me just add a left 50%, just make it center with a transform translate x -50%. Now it's center, but you can see it for now because, so let's just continue for now. I'm just gonna add index 3. Okay, and let me add a transition 0.1 second is out. Okay, now next, let me just add a before for this. So we're gonna create a before. First, we're gonna create a line. If you've seen the first video, between this for a link, and we're gonna create the square. But first, let me just create this line. So I can't show you, but let me just create it, and I'm gonna show it in the JavaScript. So content empty and the width be 0%. So no need to just add a width for now. We're gonna show it in this menu when activate, when user active, when user click at this menu. So width be 0%. Height, let me just add 2 pixels. Okay, position absolute to just make it top 50%, left 50%, and transfer transit -50%, -50%. There we go. And this index. Next, let me just add this transition also because we're gonna need it for this, because we're gonna need it for the JavaScript. When you click on this, the line created. So yeah, we're gonna need it. And let me just add a background of this color. Okay. Now the second menu A of this A link, let's just start the little font size. So let me just add padding 7 pixel, 25 pixel, and let me add the margin 0, 10 pixel. We're gonna need that, okay? And let me just add the text recursion on. We don't need the text recursion. And the color be a white, and the position be a relative, and the index be a 1. And let's not forget the transition. So yeah, this is it. Okay, now let's just create a font size for this, a 2.5 rem, and a text align be a center, guys. Okay, and if I want to just show you, I'm just gonna add 25%. Yeah, there we go. You can see this is our link, and this is our this before. Let me just show it. There we go. So this is our line. As you can see it, we're gonna create it when a user click on this, guys. So let's just make it 0%, guys, and let's just make it this -5%. Just hide it. And I just added this bottom -5% because I want when a user click on this menu, the bottom be at 10% to just go with a nice animation to the top. Okay, hope you understand. I'm just gonna show it after we finish everything. So the second menu, before and after, we're gonna create a square for this, guys. So I'm just gonna add the content width 150 pixel, height 150 pixel, and the position be absolute, and the top 50%, left 50%, and the transfer translate with rotate, guys. Now let me just add the index -2 and the transition for this, guys. And the background, let's not forget about that. So we need the background, and I'm gonna add the box shadow because we're gonna need the box shadow for this. So the box shadow, just type this box shadow, just possibility, and just type it very fast. So let me just show you again. I just added this, sorry. Okay, let me just show you. So yeah, here we go. So you can see this is our square, as you can see it. So now let's just hide this cube, guys. It's annoying. So I'm just gonna add the cube menu. So we added the new div for this cube. As you can see, the cube menu, the whole of this div is have this cube inside of this. So you can add scale 0, you can add, you know, become a bigger, become hide it with a nice animation. So this is why I add this new div for this cube menu. So cube menu, I'm just gonna add with height and the transform scale to just hide it. There we go, just like I said. And let me just add a transition, because when user click on this, I'm gonna show it to user with a scale 1. Okay, so we need that. Okay, next let me just style this icon hover, because if you see in the first video, when user hover the A link, this icon hover showed with this cube. So let me just style this also, and you can see we just added this icon hover. You need this for the JavaScript, I'm gonna explain it, but for now just add. And if you didn't type it, this HTML, just like I said, you can just download it from description, guys. Okay, just in any case, just download it in the description. Okay, so let me just add icon hover 1, icon hover 2, icon hover 3, and icon hover 4. I'm gonna add the position absolute and the top 90%, left 22%, and the opacity be 0. So we want to be hide it for now. When a user hover this a link, this icon show it. So let me just add this animation also. We need that, because if you see in the first video, the animation is also have this cube 2 with this icon cube 2. It's a shame it's not a 3D object, and if you add a 3D for this, it's become very good. I recommend to use a 3D for this instead of this icon, you know, logo. So just add a 3D, simple 3D for this, and you're gonna love it with this animation of this cube 2. Okay, so let me just add a transition also, because we're gonna need it for the JavaScript. So icon hover 1 for this icon. I want to add the font size to become a big for this icon. So I'm just gonna add the font size, term, and the font weight, and the color of this color. The same of this, you can just copy and paste it, just like we created in this, you know. Yeah, just like we just created here. But let me just continue. Cursor pointer, padding 20 pixel, at the next one. Okay, this is enough for this. You need to add more. So yeah, let me just show you if you want to see it. Also, you just see it. Okay, you can see it's now with this cube, have nice animation with this cube, and when user hover this, it's gonna show it. But just like I said, you need to add, instead of this, you can add a 3D, nice 3D for this. So sorry for this, but yeah, let me just hide it. Okay, next let's just add a last one, which is a new menu. To go to the JavaScript, to just create this menu. So the new menu, I'm gonna add a position absolute to just hide it from to the top, you know, to the top. Yeah, let me just hide it. So I'm just gonna add the top a minus 100% and the left minus 100%. So as you can see, we just hide it. And now let's go to the JavaScript to just create this menu active, guys. Okay, so in the JavaScript, guys, first let me just tell you what we need to just name it in this JavaScript. So here index, let me just show you to just make it better. So first let's just call this and this menu click. So I'm just gonna name this menu click first. So let me just, okay, the menu click document the core structure of this class list menu click. Okay, and let me just call this menu. So document core structure again, menu click, menu, just copy and paste it. And let me add, and if you remember, guys, I added this section ID of this height 1, height 2, height 3. I always just want to just, you know, just try something new instead of creating the same of this JavaScript. So I'm just gonna name it this height 1 and height 2. And when user hover and user click on this menu, this icon, this hide section that I just add ID, I'm gonna hide it with a display none, to just hide it instead of, you know, just make it position fix it. I don't like that. So if you don't like this method, I just want to just make something new instead of that. So I'm just gonna name it this section 1 of this hide 1. Just gonna name it just like with this get element by ID hide 1, section 2 hide 2 of the next section. So we have a 5 section. Yeah, I think we have a 5 section. Let me just copy and paste it. So we have we have a 5 section, and let me just, okay, we have a 5 section. We're just gonna add a 5 one also. Okay, so we just created. So now let's just add this menu click on click the function. Okay, so inside this on click function, we're gonna add this menu class list toggle active to just create a new class list for the menu and make it visible for this menu for the user. Okay, and also just like I said, we're gonna hide it with a display none. So just add this section toggle none. I added this new class list. I'm gonna add display none inside this menu, so just stick with me for now. And the section 2, I'm sorry, section 2 and section 3, section 4, section 5. Just added this new class list for this section, guys. Just hide it instead of adding a position fixed for this menu. So yeah, this is everything you need for this. Okay, and let me just see if it's working. I just forgot about that. I think yeah, it's working, as you can see. Why I can see it? Yeah, as you can see, menu active. So let me just start. So I'm just gonna add this menu active. I'm gonna add, you know, the index 1, just a simple style, and the menu active menu click. I'm gonna add the position relative and the index 1 is index 2. Sorry. Okay. Now let's go to just create this in new menu. So menu active new menu. I'm gonna add the height first 100 VH and the width be 100%. And also I'm gonna add the index 1, okay, and opacity 1, and let me add the top 0 to just back to this same page, top 0, left 0, and the background be this color. So you can see we just created right here. So now let's go to the next. We're gonna create this menu active second menu that we just add this bottom 5%. Let's just add the bottom 10%. There we go. Now it's the top of this, so you can see, guys. Yep. And we're gonna add the nice transition for this. We're gonna add this transition 1 second is out. Just add it, and you can see now it's beautiful. And also let's not forget about the before the line that I just created with a width 0%. Just add a width for this 120%, and there we go with a nice transition again. Just add this, and 1.3 second is the animation the transition delay, because I wanted this this menu created after 1.3 second, you know, the just delaying this animation, guys. So just add this, just don't forget about that. And now you can see, there we go, nice animation. Next, let's go to just create this cube menu. We're gonna add transform scale 1, and also just go to the top with a nice translate y minus 100 pixel. Now you can see it. Let me just show you. Let me just add a transition. Sorry for this. Okay, the transition, let me add this. Okay, there we go. Now let's go to the top, little bit top for this, guys. Just gonna add this little top, and you can add more if you don't like it, but I just zoom out so you can't see it. But if I just show you, yeah, you can see it's go to the top little bit. Okay, so next let me just add this menu active second menu A before and the second menu A after of this, guys. So let me just add a transform, translate, and the rotate for this. Okay, now let me just show you right now. Just add a transition for this, so we can see we have sorry, so you can see we have this minus 45 degree. We add here 45 degree instead of minus to just create a nice animation of this. There we go. Last thing, just like I said, just like we created this none, you can see, let me just add it here. So let me just add a none and add a display none. You can see it just deleted all of this section, and no need to just scroll down the position fixed. I don't like a position fixed, so I just add a display none. There we go. And we're gonna add this hover for this, the icon show it after, you know, after hover this a link. So yeah, I think we're gonna go for the JavaScript. Now let's go to JavaScript this hover to when a user hover this cube open up with icon show it. So how to do that is very simple. Let me just first in HTML, let me just add ID instead of this. So first I'm just gonna add this ID for this home. We're gonna name it a simple hover 1, and for this we're gonna name it hover 2, hover 3, and hover 4. So this is 4 of this hover. Now next we're gonna create this let me see. Now let's go to just create you know this add the ID for this. So I'm just gonna add ID for this cube 2, and for this I'm just gonna add it. You know what, let me just add for this left and right too, because I want to add, you know, to just decrease, you know, just decrease it instead of increase it. Okay, so this is, I'm just gonna hide this blur, and I'm just gonna, you know, add the width 0%, add the width 0. You know, I'm gonna explain it in JavaScript. So for now, just add this ID for this, and now for this let's go for the plan. Let me just add the ID for this again. So we have this more. Just add this detail one for this ID, because when user click on this, the details show it with this card inside. And by the way, if you have a question, what is this scroll? So you can see I just added this ID scroll. So when user click on this more, I want to just show to user, just for example, if I want to just show you, for example, if I want the user just click on this and go to this start of this scroll, as you can see it. So I just added for the for the tablet for the phone, because it's after when user click on this, the detail of this plan show it from the first one. So this is why I add this, because I need it for the the mobile. So if you don't like it, just don't add it, but I add it. Okay. Anyway, so this is our first detail. Now let's go to just create a detail 2 for this and detail 3 word for this. Okay, there we go. So next, let me see. Okay. So this is our card inside. We have a two link, we have a buy and back. So let me just add ID again for this back as a reset. So if I added this ID reset, I want to back off this, this 3 card, as you can see. So this is why I add this reset, and for this and for this. Okay, there we go. And I don't think we need anything more. So let's go to JavaScript First, before to just name it in JavaScript, let me just add a style sheet. So let me just show very fast what we need for this to just create it instead of that. Okay, so you can see we just add this ID of this hover menu. So for this ID hover menu 1, I want to add, for example, I want to add this width, but it decrease at this height. So for example, if I decrease at this, you can see it's open up. And next, just like we just created for this, let me just find it. Oh, let me just open it. I'm sorry. So you can see this is our hover menu 3. Now for the hover menu 3, just add a scale, or you can add a transform scale, but I'm gonna add a scale to just hide it. As you can see, 0. Okay, with a nice transition. And for this cube open to it that have a blur, you can see we added this. For this, we can add the width and the height. So width, let me just be 0. As you can see, and the height be 100 pixels. To just hide a little bit of this blur. Okay, just add it for this. Okay, so just like I said, we needed this for this, and we need this hover menu 3. We're gonna add this scale 0, and for this we're gonna add the height, decrease it to 100 pixels to just open it, and we're gonna add and we're gonna just show this icon inside it, just like this. So this is a very simple JavaScript. So let me just add this style sheet. So first I'm just gonna add the comment of this style sheet. Okay, let me first start with this cube. Let me just start with this. We're gonna add this width and the height. So I'm just gonna add the cube, just gonna name it let cube 1, and I'm gonna add the width and height to just decrease the height for this is 100 pixel. Okay, now for the cube 2, we're gonna add so the cube 2, we're gonna add the width 0 and the height 100 pixel. Cube 2, width, height. There we go. Just add it, and in any case, if you have any error in a JavaScript, you can just download this JavaScript in the description, guys. So don't worry about that. Just if you have any error, just download this source code. Okay. And also, I'm just gonna add a transition for this, because I want to have a simple animation to just make it a little bit, something different. Yeah, I'm just gonna add a transition for this 2 seconds. Okay, now for the cube 3, we're gonna add, just like I said, we're gonna add a scale 0. So I'm just gonna add a transform scale 0, and with a transition of this 0.3 second, 0.6 second linear, and the 0.3 second for the delay this transition. Okay, and now let's just create this style sheet of this opacity be a 1 for this. So I'm just gonna name it very simple. I'm just gonna name a let icon show to just show it with opacity 1, and I'm gonna add a transition, nice transition for this. I'm just gonna add this transition for this, just a delay this transition to just after 1.2 seconds just show this icon when a cube just open up. Okay, and also let me just add for the for the plan of this. So we're gonna create this plan also. So I'm just gonna add the JavaScript for this plan. So I'm just gonna add the simple style sheet for this. I'm just gonna add the first style box hide to just hide this box. I'm gonna add the transform transit y 20 pixel, opacity 0, and the transition with this and the index -1. Okay, So now I'm just gonna add this opacity 0 for this. So when user click on this, I wanted this two card of this, the second card and the third card, just hide it with opacity 0. So let me just name it let box hide. I'm just gonna add opacity 0, and I'm gonna add a transition with this, and also the index -1, just this, and we're gonna just show this icon inside it with opacity 1 and the transition. So just gonna add this style sheet last one, I'm gonna add this opacity and the index 1. And as you can see, we just add a transition, no need for that, so just add it for this. Okay, there we go. So this is the whole of this style sheet. Now let me just call. So first let me just start with this menu to just do it very fast and go for the next. Okay, so first let me just call this. I'm gonna first call this hover menu 1, just like we could in the HTML. Let me just show you. Let me call this first one. So I'm just gonna call this first one. Okay, I'm gonna call it the second one, and I'm gonna call in this third one for this. Now let me just call all of this icon that we have here, all of this icon hover 1, icon hover 2 with a class list. So I'm just gonna add the query selector instead of get elementary by ID. I'm gonna add the query selector, icon hover 1 and icon hover, just like we add the class list. Okay, just copy and paste it for the 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, and also I'm just gonna name this second menu, just we need that, just add it for this. So I'm just gonna delete a second menu for this. I'm just gonna name it again for this. Now just like we just created this hover for this ID, we're gonna call it with a get elementary by ID. So I'm just gonna add hover 1, get elementary by ID, hover 1 and hover 2 and hover 3 and hover 4. Okay, so we just name everything for this hover. Now let's just start it. So this hover one, let me just add the onMost enter. So onMost enter is just like onMost hover. You can add onMost hover, but it's just like it's the same of this meaning of this English. So onMost enter is just like a hover of the CSS. We add this function. I want to add object assign, just like we created this style sheet. So first let me just start with this hover menu 1. Just like I said, I want to add this cube with just decrease this height. So let me just show you very fast. You can see we just decrease this height for this hover menu 1. Now for the hover menu 2, we're gonna add this cube 2, and for this hover menu 3, we're gonna add this cube 3. So let's just try again to see if we didn't get any error. As you can see, here we go. So we just create this new cube, and we're gonna show this icon inside it. So just add this object assign icon hover 1. The first icon, we're gonna show it with icon show of this style sheet opacity 1 with this transition. So now let's see it. And here we go. Very simple, guys. Nice. And also for this second menu, just like we created this second menu, I'm gonna add a class list for this second menu. So if you see in the first video, when user hover this square just rotated, just if you see in the first video. So I'm just gonna add a new class list for this second menu and name it rotate. Okay. So now let's go to just a minute.css to just create it. Okay, in a minute.css, let me just call this menu active second menu and the new class list that I just added. So when user hover this rotate A, hover before, I'm just gonna add this transform to just rotate it, and also with a nice transition of this 10 second is out. Okay, and let me just add the after for this. So just copy and paste this, and I'm gonna add the minus instead of plus. And now if you see it, now let's see it, guys. So this is our rotate of this. Here we go. Now let's just go to just create this hover 2, hover 3 and hover 4. So we just created this most enter. Now if you see it, you can see it's not going to back. So how to just fix this problem? We're gonna add onMost leave to just when user leave of this hover, they just reset of this with onset. So I'm just gonna add just like I said, I'm just gonna add the onMost leave of this function of hover 1. I'm gonna add a hover menu style onset to just remove this style sheet of this cube 1, just remove it with this onset. So we don't have any style sheet when you add this onset. Okay, it just back to the normal of this style sheet. And let me just add the hover 2 menu, but in hover menu 3, I'm just gonna add this transition for this hover menu 3 to just show you. I'm just gonna show the road, but let me just finish this. And now let me just add the icon hover style sheet now onset. Okay, and the second menu, just remove this just copy this, paste it, and add a remove instead of add to just remove this routine. So let me just show you really fast. So as you can see, this is good. And if I just remove and if I just add onset to just show you what I mean by that, let me just add onset. You can see we're gonna add a different animation. Okay, you can see it's not beautiful. So this is why I added this transition, new transition for this. So just added this transition to just fix this problem. And why this has happened, if you the cube 2 of this, you can see the hover of this menu, we don't have any transition. You can add the transition inside it, but I don't recommend to add it because we're gonna add it in JavaScript. So yeah, this is why this has happened, because we don't have any transition for this. So yeah, and yeah, this is why I add this transform with this transition. Okay, now just copy this and paste it of this hover tool, and just add this icon hover tool, just replace this, and we're gonna add the same style of this. No need to change it. Also, we don't need to change this, just add this hover tool, and again for this hover 3, the same style, just add this hover 3, and for this hover 4, just simple of this hover. Now let's see it, guys. If we see, let's see if it's working or not. And here we go. So this is our about, this is our plan, and you can see everything is fine. Very good. Now let's just go to the plan of this. So we just reach this plan, and let me first add a comment for this. So I'm just gonna add a comment. Let me just, okay, I'm gonna add the plan for this. Okay, first let me just call this f1 box, just like we added in the first video of this ID. I'm just gonna call it here for this f1 box of this with a get elementary body, just like we added for this. Okay, and now let me add this card inside. Yeah, let me add a card inside with this core selector. So I'm just gonna add the core selector card inside. So now just copy and paste it for the f2 box, just like we added get elementary body, and this card inside too, and a f3 box and the card inside 3. Okay, just copy and paste it, just add it for this name. Now let me just call this FPS, just like we added. If you remember, we added display none for the butterfly that we just, so let me just call it here FPS of this core selector. We're gonna add a display block to just show to user when user click on this butterfly, just start the animation. Okay, and the last thing we're gonna just call this, and just we're gonna create this name for this JavaScript detail 1, detail 2, detail 3, and the reset 1. So I'm just gonna detail 1, detail 2, detail 3, and the reset 1, reset 2, reset 3. Okay, so now let's just create this. So for this detail, we're gonna add this onClick function. So when you click on this, I want to just the first box of this, I want to be a scale 1. I'm gonna add this statue to just make it bigger. I'm gonna just show it in a just plan.css. So for now, let me just continue, and I'm just gonna add object assign, just like always. We're gonna add this f2 box style of this box height that we just created right here. So you can see in a box height, we want to just remove this and hide it with opacity 0, and we're gonna just I'm gonna add this f3 box to just hide this again for this detail 1. Okay, just hide it, and I'm gonna add this card inside 1 to just show the user the first detail of this card inside, to just show it with this link and this cube, if you remember. And last thing, I'm gonna add the FPS that we just created to just add the display block to just show it. So let's go to just add this scale to just tell you what we need for this scale. So in plan.css, guys. Okay, let me just add a comment first. So JavaScript, I'm just gonna add this scale 1 and scale 2, scale 2, scale 3. So first it's scale 1 of this. So I'm just gonna add this transform scale to just become bigger, and also I'm just gonna add this box shadow onset to just remove this box shadow, as you can see it. Okay, and just in case to just show you what I mean by this, so you can see just this, and we're gonna just remove this, the a-link, and also I think we have this little background, but for now let me just continue. Okay, I don't have a time. Okay, so let me just remove this, and yeah, so you can see we just created this butterfly with this display block. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna create this reset. So this is a first scale. Now let me just add this transition also to just make it we get a nice animation for this. And let me add a scale 2, a scale 3, because I want to add a different position. So we didn't create this, you know, this detail 2 to just show what I mean by that. But if user click on this, card 2, I want this detail to just change this position to become here. So I'm just gonna add this left minus 41% for the scale to just go for the here, guys. So I hope you understand this, and I'm gonna show it after we just created this JavaScript. Okay, now for the scale 3, for the last one, I'm just gonna add this left position relative. I'm gonna add this left to just be here, minus 80% to just be here. Okay, and now let me just add this to just hide this with opacity 0 to just hide this link. Okay, yeah, so this is everything you need for this, guys. Okay, now let me just add the detail 2, detail 3, but before just copy and paste, let me just add the reset. So reset one unclick. So when user click on the back option of this, I want to add this F1 box to just remove the scale 1, just like I did, and I'm gonna add this onset, just like I just explained it. What I mean at this onset, just add this onset, and I'm gonna add this card inside with a new transition, because I'm gonna hide it a little fast for this. So I just added this as index 1 to just be in the back of this text, to just not not click it. Okay, with this as index 1 and this transition instead of this onset. So just add it for now. Okay, and I'm gonna add this again as onset for this to just remove this display block. Okay, I'm gonna add onset. So yeah, this is everything for this. Now let me just copy and paste it. So detail 2, we're gonna just add this scale 2 for the F2 box instead of F1 box, as you can see it, and we're gonna add this box height to just hide the second one, and we're gonna hide this first one and this second one, as you can see it. Okay, and we're gonna add this stash, and we're gonna add the card inside to just add it. Just don't forget about that. Okay, and we're gonna just remove this just like that. We're gonna remove it with onset and this scale 2 and this opacity with this. Now for the third one, we're gonna add this F3 box. When you usually click on this, we're gonna just remove this two of these, as you can see. We're gonna remove it, we're gonna hide it with opacity 0, and we're gonna add a scale 3 for the last one, and with this card inside 3. And yeah, this is it. Now let's see it, guys. So let me just go and let me just zoom. Okay, here we go. Let's see it. So yeah, this is the first one, as you can see, and yeah, this is our butterfly, as you can see. And I'm just gonna remove this. Sorry for this. Yeah, as you can see. So this is let me just remove this. My bad, guys. Yeah, sorry for this, guys. Let me just remove it. Okay. So yeah, there we go. So now for the second one, as you can see, add this scale to just move it to the left, as you can see, with a nice animation. And for the third one, there we go. Beautiful. Yeah, this is the whole of this JavaScript, guys. And if you have any error for this, just download the source code. Okay, so last one, I think we don't have any more for this JavaScript. Let me see. Yeah, we don't have any more for the JavaScript. So let's go just create this animation of the home page. Just show intro, just simple animation for this, with this scroll animation to just add opacity and the left. Other thing we need just create it. So I'm just gonna add this scroll, but yeah, and after that we're gonna just create this media query for this. So let me just do it, guys. Okay, now before they just add the scroll animation, let me just add new classes for this. So let me just show you first. I just add this opacity 2 for this to just hide it. Simple animation. I'm just gonna add the animation with a CSS instead of JavaScript, and I don't have more time for the JavaScript, so I'm just gonna add it in a CSS to just finish this video very fast. So just add this classes opacity and opacity for this again, and this is the opacity 1 instead of opacity 2. Simple animation for this opacity 1, and for this opacity 3 for the third one of this cube. Okay, next for this it takes a letter of this as you can see it. Let me just zoom out. Sorry. Okay, for this text letter, I'm just gonna add this a new div with this scroll opacity. Just like I just named it, I'm gonna add this opacity 0 for this, and when you use a scroll down, this opacity show it. Okay, so just like I just named it, scroll opacity, and I'm gonna add this a new div for this text of this. I'm gonna add a scroll top to just show it from the top. Okay, just add it for this, and for this we're gonna add this scroll text. So a scroll text, I want to just show it from the from the left to the to just go in here, be in here. So I'm just gonna hide it to the left and just gonna show it with this scroll text. And this is a scroll opacity, just like we added for this text letter. Just add it for this, just hide it with opacity 0. Okay, and I don't think anymore to just just, and for this we're gonna add this scroll top of this. Again, we're gonna just show it from the top. Okay, so just add it, and for this for this box we're gonna name it in JavaScript to just add it for the animation. Just add this scroll text for this, again for this our plan to just show it from the left to the right. Okay, just add this, and for this add a scroll text, and no need for this, and for this just in case if you didn't type it, just add it. And for this contact, again we're gonna add this scroll text, and scroll text and a scroll width, just add it inside of this style sheet. I'm gonna just add a scale 0 to just hide it with at least a scale 0, and when user scroll down this cube, show it with a scale 1. Okay, and this is everything with this scroll top for this, and this scroll opacity, just hide it. Okay, this is everything. If you edit, just go to the JavaScript to just continue this. So a scroll function, let me just add this add event listener scroll and a checkbox, and let me just call a checkbox. And now let me just add a function for this checkbox. I'm just gonna add this let me just add this const trigger bottom. I'm gonna add a window inner height, and I'm gonna set it to 2.42, and you can add more. Instead of 2 you can add 3, and I don't like add 3, so I just choose this 2 instead of 3. And if you don't like it, you can add a 3, but so now let me just create this first one. I'm just gonna add this scroll text. So for this, just like I said, let me just add it. Now for this, we're gonna add this text animation for each of these scroll text that we just added of all of these scroll top. Just like we called in this core sector, all of this. We're gonna add this for each text animation. The const scroll text, I wanted this animation at this show to just create it with a new style sheet for this. So I'm just gonna add the left, and I'm gonna show it with just set it to the 0. So I'm gonna show it in a CSS. So this is the first one. So let me just create this the scroll of this animation. So let me just create this comment, a scroll animation. Just like we made a div of this HTML, we're gonna add this scroll text. Okay, I'm gonna add the left first. Let me just add the position relative, and I'm gonna add the left 150% with a minus to just go, as you can see, with a nice transition of this. And now in this scroll show, I'm gonna add this left 0 to just become here, and you can see when you use the scroll down, you can see it's gonna show it, just like this. So this is a basic of this, and just like I said, if you don't like it 2, you can add the 3 or 4. So I'm just gonna add this 2. I think the 2 is good. Okay, and let me just continue and add this transition for this. So I want this transition when I enable this, and nice transition for this. You can see it's nice, better transition from this. So I just add this transition with this cubic wizard. Just pause the video and just type it very fast. So this is the first one, and let me just create all of this, and then we go for the CSS to just go to just create everything. So next, let me just create this box card of this, all of this box card. We have 2 boxes. Let me just show you just what I mean about this, all of this box. So you can see this is our first box. This is our first box, okay, of this plan. And for this about, we have another box card. Box card. Where is it? Yes, box. Sorry for this box card. You can see we have a 2 box. So we're gonna add this again, this core sector or the box card, and for each of these box card we're gonna add this show and remove this show. Okay, just add this, and now let me just continue and add this F1 box to just add a nice animation for this F1 box of this and F3 box. And let me just add this for each of this F1 box. So again we have a 2 box of this F1. Just add it. We're gonna add this again show and remove show, and we're gonna add this F3 box. I'm gonna add a new animation just like with this, just like this. I'm gonna add and I'm gonna explain the CSS, so let me just add it. So this is a third box. I'm gonna add this for each of these 3 boxes of this. We're gonna add this class list show. Next, let me just add this scroll animation of this scroll tab that we just created, this and this, yeah, other thing. So I'm just gonna call it all of this scroll tab, and I'm gonna add this for each of these. We're gonna add this show of this top animation. Okay. Next, let me just add this cube about the cube BG of this, of this cube BG, as you can see it. So I'm gonna add a nice animation for this, and we just have a one div of this cube BG, so we don't have 2 or 3, just one of this, and we're gonna add this const scroll cube and the cube about, and I'm gonna add this if scroll cube is, and we're gonna add this show and remove this. Okay. Next, let me just add this scroll opacity to just call out all of this scroll opacity. We're gonna add this opacity 0, and I'm gonna add this for each. And let me just finish all of this. Now, last one is this const width for this scroll width. So for this animation, I'm just gonna add this for each of this width that we just created, and I'm gonna explain it again in CSS. So yeah, this is the whole of this scroll animation, and let me just show you. If you want to just type it, or you can download it in the description instead of that. But yeah, this is the whole of this scroll animation. Okay, now before to just create this, the scroll animation of this, let me first start with this homepage, just like we just created for this, opacity, just like we added. You can see opacity 1. So let me just first add this header to just add the animation for this. So header, I'm gonna add this of this animation opacity, just hide it, and after the 3 seconds, it's just gonna show it. And you can see I added this 2 seconds. So 2 seconds is animation delay. If you have a question, what is a 2 second? 2 seconds is animation delay. So just keep in mind, this is the animation delay. Just add it for this 2 seconds. After 2 seconds, opacity is started. Okay. So yeah, this is our animation. I'm gonna add this opacity 0. You can see we just hide this header. Okay. Let me just add this position relative, and also I'm gonna add this index 1. Okay. Now let me just add opacity 1. So just like we created this classes for this cube, I'm gonna just name it here opacity 1. I'm gonna add this animation opacity 2 instead of this opacity 1 in a different animation. I'm gonna add this opacity 0. So this is opacity 1 of this. This is the first one. Okay. Now this is opacity for the second one. I'm gonna add this animation opacity with after 1 second, animation delay after 1 second is started after this opacity 1. I hope you understand this. And I'm gonna add this opacity 0, and for this, the last one of this, we're gonna add this animation delay 2 seconds instead of 1 second. After 2 seconds, this opacity 2 created. Okay, so let me just create this keyframes of this opacity. I'm gonna add this 0%, 90%, and 100%. So 0% we have opacity 0 as a default, and now in a 90% I'm gonna add opacity 0 again, and in 100% I'm gonna show it with opacity 1. So this is the animation of this header, and after 2 seconds just show it. After 2 seconds the header, we're gonna show it. Okay, now for this opacity 2, just like the same, just like copy and paste it of this, and we're gonna add this 50% and 100%. So 0% I'm gonna add this opacity 0, and I'm gonna add this 50% opacity 0, and 100% we're gonna add this opacity 1. Okay, let me just show you very fast. You can see there we go. It's a nice animation, and you can see after 2 seconds this menu show it. So next, let me just add this second row, the second row. I'm gonna add the animation of this scale to just become big, just like you see in the first video. So this is a basic animation. I'm gonna add this left first. I'm gonna add this minus 10%, and I'm gonna add this, just move it to the right, to the left with this scale of this 1.3. Okay, and I'm gonna add this animation of this show. Just remove this scale with this animation. Okay, now let me just create this show. I'm gonna add 0%, left be minus 10% of this as a default, and I'm gonna add this transform of this, just copy and paste it. Okay, now in this 100% I'm gonna add this left 0, just go to the here of this, and with this scale 1. So just add this transit x 0 and scale 1. So let me just show you very fast. You can see, so yeah, this is a basic of this animation. Let me see, you can see, gonna show this, here we go, and go to the here. And I'm sorry if this animation is very basic of this, because I think the video is take too much time for this. And for this some text, I'm gonna add the push notif and the left and the left, just like this. We're gonna add this minus 150% with this animation of the show 3. So the show 3, I'm gonna add it after 3 seconds to just show it just like this header. Okay, so I'm just gonna add this keyframes, the show 3 0% and 100%. I'm gonna add this left as a default, and I'm gonna add this left 0. Okay, so this is the whole of this homepage animation, as you can see it, guys. Yeah, there we go. Hope you understand this. So yeah, this is a basic animation. Now let's go to just create this about, and the plan, other thing we need for this scroll animation. Okay, now let me just create this scroll animation of this to the about the CSS. So about the CSS, I'm gonna start with this box card of this. You can see. So I'm just gonna add this scale to just decrease it to the 0.8. Okay, and I'm gonna add this opacity 0 to just hide it. And when you use the scroll down, this box card gonna show it. Okay, with this nice transition. Now for the box card show, just like this, and we're gonna add this opacity 1, and I'm gonna add a scale onset to just remove this scale. Just gonna remove this stash of this scale. Okay, and if I just show you, can see nice animation. Now just like we name it this F3 box and F1 box, I'm just gonna name it this F3 box and F3. I'm gonna add this scale 1.4 to just become big. Okay, with this opacity 0, and also the index -1 and a transition for this. So you can see it's now bigger with this opacity 0. Now let me just copy and paste it for the F1 box. It's the same of this stash sheet of this, but we're gonna not add this is index. So just remove this is index, and yeah, this is a first one and this is a third one, and we're gonna just show it the F3 box. We're gonna start with this F3 box and F3 show. We're gonna add this scale 1 as a default. We can add onset, that doesn't matter, and let me add this index I2 to just become as a default, and the opacity 1. Okay, you can see we just show it. And let me just add a transition to just show it, after 0.3 seconds. Yeah, that's nice animation. And let me just add the F1 box, the same of this, just copy and paste it, opacity 1 and this transition. So let me just see it. So this is a basic animation of this. You can see we're gonna add, just like we added this scale, you can see, yeah, nice animation, just like we created. Now next, let me just add this F2. We're gonna add this scale 1.4. I'm gonna add this opacity 0, and I'm gonna add this transition. Now F2 show, I'm gonna add this scale 1 and this opacity 1. Now I'm gonna add this transition 0.8, and you can see, guys, this is a nice animation. And if I just remove it, you can see it's a nice animation for this, guys. Hope you understand this. So just add this scale F2 of this. I'm gonna add this. Okay, next let me just add this scroll top of this, the text that we just added there for this. Now let me just add the cube BG as of this, this cube. We're gonna add this transition of this. I'm gonna add this transform to just scale it with a 0. Okay, and we're gonna just show it with this scale 1. You can see it now. Yeah, here we go. Next, let me just add this scroll opacity to just hide it with opacity 0, and a transition for this, guys. Let's not forget about transition. Now I'm gonna just show it with this opacity 1. There we go. Now for the contact, the last one of this animation, we're gonna just add this animation for this. So I'm just gonna add this scroll width, just like when just name it in the index of this. We're gonna add this width 0, height just decrease it 100 pixel. And I'm gonna add this scale to just become to just hide it, guys. Scale be 0, and I'm gonna add this transition also. You can see we just hide it. And I'm gonna add this scroll width show to just show it with a scale 1, and this width and the height the same of this 200 pixel. There we go. So yeah, this is the basic of this scroll animation. You can see. There we go. So we just create everything for this. Everything we need for this. Yeah, it's zoom out. I'm sorry. I thought the animation doesn't work. Okay, you can see. So this is the basic of this animation. This is the home page, this is about page, nice about page, and this is, and yeah, this is good, this is good, this is good, this is good, nice. Let's go to the last one is media query. Oh, I just closed it. So I think we finished everything for this responsive step. So let me just finish this with this media, and yeah, I'm just gonna finish this video. And if you don't want to type this media query, you can just skip this part and just download the source code from this description. I just put the link in the description and just download it if you don't want to just type it. So I'm just gonna do it very fast to just finish the video very fast. Sorry for this, guys, it's just taking too much time for this video, my bad. But let me just finish it. So I'm just gonna add home.css. I'm gonna add this second row, and I'm gonna not explain, I'm just gonna add it. Okay, I'm just gonna add this second row, and you can see, and this header and this inner. Okay, section second row for the next max width. Let me add this second row again, and some text h1 p, and this second row. Just gonna add this font size and decrease this scale of this 3 cube, as you can see it, guys. And let me just add the inner, and for this, for this tablet, I'm gonna add this some text for the order one. Okay, let me just add the hero and this inner. Now I'm gonna add this header for the left and the right. Okay, let me add this section for the 4% for the left and the right. Let me add h1 for the font size, p font size, manual I, just add the padding for this, and let me add the second row for the this cube. Just gonna decrease it and add the left and the top. Okay, so some text, and yeah, so this is everything for this. So as you can see, I just added this first one. The second row, I just decrease the size of this 3 cube with this second row. Just gonna add this scale. Hope you guys understand this. I just gonna add the left just to make sure this responsive, so don't have any overflow. So yeah, this is good for your this homepage. Now for this about page, I'm just gonna add this text letter and this text letter again for the next max width. Gonna add this cube bg again. We're gonna just gonna increase this cube bg of this. Yeah, let me just add the text letter, and let me just add the cube open for. Okay, let me just add this box card. Now for the box card of this next max width, I'm gonna add this f3 box and f1 box, f2 box, and f3 box of this. Just gonna scale up this 3 card of this box card that have inside it. Let me add this p, and let add text custom with text letter and the row and the div. Just add this order one, just make sure be in order one. Okay, let me add this cube open for, and yeah, cube bg and the box card and the f1 box and f2 box and f3 box for for the plan and other thing. And let me add the f3 box. Now about page after, and about page and the text center h1 and the p. So basically this display now is just remove this. You can see this square. I'm just gonna remove it, and just gonna add this left to just make sure this blur have be in the left of this. Just gonna decrease this the left. Okay, let me just add this cube bg text about page, and yeah, so this is everything for this about the CSS, guys. So next, let me just add this contact page footer. I'm gonna add this footer cool for this margin that we have added the right. You can that have added for the right. Okay, I'm gonna add this cube open 5, cube open 6 for this contact page that have 2 cube. Okay, let me add this social and this text letter 3 for this next math with contact div display none and the phone flex action column contact cube open 5 and the social. Let me add the footer and the cool and the bg footer and the text letter, and let me add the flex footer of this, guys, and this cool integer child 3, and for this cool of this margin to let be a 0. Let me add the p for this integer child 3 to just make it this width of this, guys. So yeah, this is everything for this, and let me just finish it to just show you very fast. Let me just correct it. Let me add this plan for this. I'm gonna add this cube. Just make sure this adding this backend for this channel for this. Hope you guys are interested for the backend. This left, and customize this left. So yeah, this is everything. Just let's finish this backend, and after just I finish this backend, I'm just gonna create this video. Just how to just explain how to just create this style sheet and other things, and you can see I just make it too hard to just create this card. Let me just be like this, but yeah. So I hope you guys see you next video, guys, for the backend max width, and yeah, this scale to a scale. So I see you next video, guys. Add the card inside, let me add the cube open c1. I'm gonna add this client for the for this that we have in here. First one, just gonna add this flag slash column for this, okay, and this f1, f2, f3 for the for the client, and I'm gonna add this text letter 2, and the block before that we have here this, just gonna add this left 80%, and this is a butterfly of this FPS that we just created. Just gonna this decrease this skillet, just decrease the size of this, just make sure it's not big for the mobile and tablet. And you can just add the display and just remove it, because I don't think this animation is good for the mobile. Just gonna use it for the tablet. But yeah, let me just add this card inside 1 and the card inside 2 and the card inside 3 and the skill 2 and the skill 3 and the skill 3. I'm gonna add this top minus, okay. So the last one is I'm gonna add this text letter 2 and this for the butterfly and this link for the inside that we have here. Let me just, yeah. So yeah, this is everything for this. And last one is menu, to just show you. Let me just add this second menu, and let me add the second menu, just style this second menu that we have here. Let me add the menu active cube menu and this second menu, and this menu active cube menu, and second menu for this second menu. And I'm gonna add this menu active second menu of this nthal2 and the second menu nthal3 for the a link. Gonna add this transform and this cube menu, and just decrease the size of this cube, okay. And this second menu before for the this, and let me just add this menu active second menu before. Yeah, let me add the menu active second menu for this. So yeah, this is everything for this. So I think, yeah, this is everything for this. You can see, so this is our menu page. We're just gonna decrease it this size, just make it like this. Yeah, just make sure it's beautiful. Next, this the home page. For the tablet, it just like be this, and if you don't like it, you can just make it center, but I like be this for the cube. It's just something like not just quite, okay. And as you can see, we just gonna turn off this animation of this. We just make it like this in this mobile version, okay. So yeah, this is good, and yeah, there we go. So yeah, this home page. Let me see this. There we go, make it this big, and this 3 card, 2 card, you can see. Okay, yeah, this is good. Let's just continue. Yeah, and yeah, this is our client, as you can see it, guys. Let's just see. Yeah, this is good. This is our 3 card, as you can see it. Make sure it's good. And I think now it's good. Okay, it's here, this cube, and this is our for the tablet, guys. Yeah, just make sure it's beautiful. Even this, okay, it's now go to the top, and make sure to go to the here for the cube. So yeah, I think this is it for this. Hope you guys loved this video. And just before to just finish the video, guys, I just didn't finish this Laravel page of this, the admin page and the user page, user dashboard, and yeah. So I just created this sign up and the sign in, but let me just finish this Laravel of this admin user and other thing, and then after we just created this backend, we're gonna just create this style sheet for the for the sign up and the sign in and the admin page, user page, other thing you need for this.